5.
Okay, here we go. Hello, 5 means we're live, as is the rules. Hello, we're back for our second and final episode of our little side adventure called Soul Shatter. And difficult to read. So thank you again, my lovely 3, for being here and having flexible schedules and such. We're going to run through and let everyone introduce themselves and their characters and stuff. And if they have any other projects that they're very excited about or anything they want to shout out, stuff like that. I think we'll get started with the man in danger, Joe.
It's true. I'm very much in danger. I showed up and within 5 minutes, you're like, what if this boy was about to be dead?
Mm-hmm. I was like, you know how I promised you would join us? I'm going to try and kill you the first second.
That's all right. You just wanted me to have a different character. You saw this guy, you're like, never mind. Anywho, I'm Joe. I'm playing Kiroso. He's a very, very handsome gentleman. That's all Foozca is doing, because Foozca is good at art. He's a good old boy. He's a druid. He's a fish out of water, because it's a desert. He is a trident. And
he's in the water right now.
Yeah, but he's a fish in the water. But most of the time, he's a fish out of water. It's a desert. Don't ruin my. How dare? Anyway, yeah. When I'm not doing this, I'm doing other stuff on this channel all the time. And this Sunday is the every other Sunday rotation where I am playing Mass Effect RNG. Every dialogue wheel, every skill point, the appearances were all decided by RNG. And making some bold choices, and we'll continue to do so through the trilogy. And then, yeah, that's me, Evie. What are you doing? What's your life like?
What's your life like?
I am doing okay. It's hot here, but it's kind of hot most places. I play Cam. So you can kind of see if my green screen will work properly. Also drawn by the also lovely Foozca. They are an albino race of a kind, slash ranger, with a asshole-ish little fennec fox friend named Lush. And normally you can find me on Alter Deco Archives, where I am the director, and I am currently the GM of our Frontrunner campaign, Empyrean Rising, which is a cipher system-based game that will actually be happening. Next session is this Sunday at 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific. Starting end of June, we will also be bringing in our next/newest campaign, Once Upon a Reflection, also a cipher system-based game that is somewhat fairy tale oriented, and we are very excited about it. But yeah, so pretty much just catch me on Alter Deco Archives or on my occasional guest spot over here with my friends and Kit.
Why is Kit not your friend?
Kit is muted. Oh my god. Rude.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Hi, thank you for that. Call me Kit. I am playing this lady right here. Her name is Helda. She has a fondness for buried treasure, basically anything that has writing on it. And she just, from what we learned last week, pretty dumb. Like, she has not told anyone her name yet. like you get up, pick up on it, like, hey, so what's your name? Like, just keep moving. Okay. But yeah, I tend to hang around here quite a bit. I thought about streaming, but I don't think I'd be able to rock it, unfortunately.
You could rock it.
I could not. Anyway.
You could rock it. You could also roll it.
But yeah.
Joe is unfortunately very good tonight with the puns, and it's barely started.
I feel like that implies there are other nights where I'm not very good at it, and I take offense.
There are days where you're slacking, my dude.
I disagree.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Everyone has those days.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have you know for a fact,
like
for the past 2 weeks, I've been wearing shorts, not slacks.
That's kind of weak. Anyway, I am currently DMing a short series here on Foozca's channel entitled A Day in Sunlore. It's currently we're only one session in, and unfortunately scheduling stuff is happening, but I do hope we can do our second session next week. More details on the Foozca Discord. But yeah, that's my bid. Foozzy, please take it away.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Foos. I'm the DM for this lovely two-shot as well as Difficult Terrain, which is on Saturdays. Except this weekend we're going to be quiet because San Lorick would normally be Friday and then Difficult Terrain on Saturday, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be off for both. However, we are running a cheesy dice raffle. So if anyone is in chat and has not entered, please feel free to type in !raffle to get yourself in the drawing. I do believe for sure this time we will draw the winner the week after when we come back and we have a regular schedule. But we have a couple more projects in the makings at the moment, so look out for that. As well as if you are interested in ever playing with us, we do our recruiting on our Discord, so you gotta be there if you want to possibly play with us and such. But very excited to hop back into this and and to toss gifts in the Discord as we do, and to possibly almost kill Joe as I do, and just in general get back into this. So I'm excited to be here.
I think you killed me like 3 times.
Kill?
Yeah.
You.
Or just knocked out? Like actually killed?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm counting the end of Awakenings, which was really just the final destination.
Well,
you did kill me right at the top of that one.
Yeah, you did. That's correct. I definitely did kill you immediately, and then I think after that,
And Garai you killed before I even showed up.
That's correct. But he was also an NPC that I was like, Joe, are you free on Saturdays?
Maybe it's only 2 times.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I don't need you to be dramatic. But we are trying to kill you today, so that's what we're gonna have to do. Anyway, as per usual, thanks for hanging out with us. We are hopping back into this adventure. Oh, hello, Ava. What's up? About to go live soon. Oh, where are you going live? Oh, we're muted. Where are you going live? I need to know so I could pop open a tab. Ava's awesome, and she's on many different channels. So that's part of the reason why I want to know what channel it is. And maybe if we're done before they are, we can give them a good old rate. So anyway, we are hopping back into this 2-part adventure with 2 strangers and a returning face, that being Cam, having been sent out by the Infinite to go investigate a very specific address. And then Helda, one of our newer faces, having retrieved an artifact that seemed to direct her in the same direction that Cam was heading in, which all seemed to culminate at Kiroso's home. Kiroso, who was kind of just enjoying his morning and chilling, was very rudely awakened, or not awakened, but visited by some other creature of some kind, much of which was kind of a mystery. It was seemingly thrashing about in his little pool of the Infinite that he had in his basement, before slowly kind of revealing bits and pieces of the creature, which seemed to be similar to Kiroso, but clearly a very large, huge creature of some kind. After many of them being blinded by very, very bright light and not really being able to see, it was a little hard to discern certain details. But Cam was fine, not only due to some kind of benefit they may have, but also because they have blind fight, excuse me. So they can see anyway. It's all good. So,
and I rolled a nat 20.
And you rolled a nat 20, exactly. I know I gave that to you at advantage, but you started with a nat 20, and we're like, Cam's back. They always, Cam rolls so well. I feel like that's kind of the standard.
It's only Cam. It's only Cam. I did not roll that well for my other character.
Yeah, Locke did not have as much luck, absolutely. But anywho, you were able to kind of pass and fail. Oh my god, Toast! I'm sorry, the way you manhandled him into view just absolutely killed me. Hello, Toast! What a patient boy! How you doing? Alright, he's very patient right now. I'm so proud of your cat. Is it time to put your hand on his face?
I think it helps that I have a fan in our general direction, so I'm sure he's also hot.
Oh, he's like, all right, I'll tolerate this while it's relieving at the same time.
Yeah.
We shall see if Toast ever bites him, but I feel like it cracks me up the way he looks up when you pick him up. Because when I pick up Nubs, he looks at where he wants to go, which is down. So he'll be like, the floor. Do you see the floor? I'd like to go there. But whenever you pick up Toast, he's just staring at the ceiling. Anyway, adorable cat aside, the creature in your pool, in your basement, essentially, was able to solidify a little bit more. And he also found himself in seemingly a battle to even stay a part of this realm, and realized that as he was being called to the infinite, it probably wasn't the one in his basement as much as it was the actual infinite. As the second this creature seemed to materialize fully in this realm, it ran out of his house and demolished the stairs and the doorways on the way out, and seemed to be making a beeline to the infinite. With an incredible amount of CCs, I believe I was grappled, stunned, and then banished. My big boy did pretty much nothing, but gave Kidoso plenty of time to run his way, or fly, excuse me, because you were a giant eagle at the time. You dove into the water and then started swimming down as fast as you could, giving you advantage on your wisdom saving throws that happened afterwards. So you are currently there. You did fail one, and Kidoso felt the reverberation of such failure with a huge chunk of psychic damage. So as we are still in combat, we're technically still in initiative because Banish lasted the whole minute and then he popped back in. So we're more or less going to stick with that. And Kidoso, you will be rolling your in wisdom saves per initiative run, essentially. Cam is still with the big boy, and Helda ran off to go meet Kidoso by the infinite. So Helda, you are kind of somewhere in between Cam and Kidoso, just heading on over, and Kidoso, you are underwater. That cat is so gentle. He is just very carefully nipping at you, and it is adorable.
He normally doesn't draw blood. He just likes sharp playtime.
Yeah, I mean, every cat does, though, you know? He's a good boy. And Cam, you are essentially alone with this big boy. And actually, I'm going to set us back up as we are back to the start of initiative. I'm actually going to... Your water spirit that you summoned is still technically here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that one on the map because your water spirit can still technically do some stuff. So I will leave your water spirit here. But more or less, we're just going to be looking at Cam and this large creature. And I'm going to grab one last thing, and then I'll get us onto the map, and we'll get back into this nonsense. All right, let me... that looks good. All right, I'm going to move you guys to, like, I guess the map layer or something, or just, like, scoot you off so there's no confusion. So Elemental is there. Large, scary creature is here. You are no longer eagle, so I can... Oh, ignore that focus ping that I just did. And move you over there. I right-clicked too many times. Okay. And get that one there. All right, we are back in position for some nonsense, I think. So, at the top of the round, this creature is essentially trying his hardest to... Hi, Ninners! What's up, man? Happy hump day. I'd be dying still. He's not dead yet. You're fine.
I didn't say dead.
You said be dying.
Yeah, it's different than dead.
You're not dying. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Evie, you just got a D4 inspiration. You saw it. Very nice. Okay. This creature, let me pull up his character sheet because I forgot to do that in all of my yapping. The first thing he is going to do, I know he can do... is it part of his action? No, he has to do that first. Okay. Nub's a tree. I don't know where Nubs is. I don't know where he is. I will grab a treat, though, very soon, when it's not my turn. Thank you, Dennis. And hydrate. We're just getting hit with all of the redeems. I can go out. I got a little bit of water, though. All right. This large creature is going to start his turn by The elemental is not grappling him anymore, but he is going to try and break free of these two. So, Flan, you can't do that. That's you're part of that team. He is going to kind of shift back, and Cam, you watch as the one eye that's not kind of poked out, because one of them was clearly gouged in some way and still has sort of black ichor rolling down his cheek. The other one seems to be functioning and looking in your direction as the yellow eye pierces at you. He's going to use his evil eye at you, and I will need a charisma saving throw from you.
Ooh. Okay.
It's just not your speciality, but
No,
we'll see how that goes.
it is not. At least it's not intelligence.
Oh no!
I rolled
yeah,
well last time, have to roll like
You
shit
did.
this time.
You did. That's how it is, though. You know. So this is also a chunky amount. What is it? Oh, it's okay. I'm just making sure I have the correct thing typed. I'm not sure if I set this up correctly, so we'll see if it just immediately rolls. There we go. Okay. So you take 37. I roll a little higher than usual. And then on a failed save, the creature is also cursed. So you find yourself slightly cursed as well. You feel as though, Cam, as this is starting to happen, you start to feel kind of like your muscles and your bone structure almost fighting against their natural shape. Like they're trying to deform in a way that kind of reminds you of the creature in front of you. There's just a lot of abnormalities about the form and structure of this creature. And it looks like it's perhaps trying to impose that upon you. You are currently starting to fight that off, however, so nothing is happening just yet, but you imagine if you fail a few of those, you're going to be in some trouble. But after the eye kind of locks onto you and glows, you can react if you'd like as that is happening.
What type of damage is it?
Psychic.
Okay. Is it trying to run?
Yes, he is. After that, he is going to use his... I'm just going to double check to make sure he does have it and that I'm not crazy. Okay, he does. He's going to use his bonus action to Misty Step and then run the rest of the way. Which is not a lot because he's a chunky boy. He doesn't have a ton of movement. But he's heading off in that general direction, which of course means you get an attack of opportunity.
So he runs and then Misty Steps?
Oh no, I'm so sorry. He Misty Stepped first and then he ran, so you do not get an attack of opportunity.
So
Thank you
I do
for
not, yeah.
clarifying order, correct. But he is hopping out and is running off, hoping that you are slightly stunned with his evil eye. But that's the end of his turn, which is going to bring us to Cam.
Okay. Do I have enough control over Lush to say that he at this point would change, or is that still under GM control?
It is mostly under GM control. However, just from like your personal relationship with Cam, you do know that he can on command, and he will often kind of wait for the command because he doesn't know how to people. So if it were up to him, he'd be running around as a scary beast most of the time, but he knows to kind of rely on your judgment of whether to do so.
Okay. In that case, Cam is going to be like, assistance, maybe? We have to stop it, I think, and run after him.
All right.
Because I do not think that I have a movement ability, or I do have Misty Step. Let's see, that is a bonus action.
It will take Lush's action to do so, but you feel the fox kind of leap off from your shoulders and start to shapeshift beside you.
Okay, I am not actually going to Misty Step yet. I am going to instead use my Radiant Consumption and then proceed to like run, and my action is trying to catch up with him, essentially.
Okay, gotcha. So you're going to Misty Step. Are you going to dash as well, or? Oh no, you weren't going to miss
Yes,
a step. You
'cause I
said you
need
were using a
black.
radiant consumption. Yeah. Gotcha. Go right ahead. You can go ahead and scoot yourself on the map.
Let's see.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so I'm like right there with him.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah, I am shedding light
Mm-hmm.
as I run, and like shadowy, dark wings and glowing eyes as I am running past it with the horns that are normally hidden in my very fluffy hair starting to grow just slightly. It's, or at least the others aren't still around to see it.
Yeah, just you and Cam. You and Lush. Your creepy little friend. Not little anymore.
Is that why you sent me away?
It's just the water elemental left in the wake of that nonsense. Yeah. I'll say that after he hops off your shoulder, it will take him. I'm just gonna put Lush's turn right after yours, just because he was more or less acting right after you anyway. So let me just reorganize that a little bit. Think. All right. But I don't think his movement is quite enough to catch up. No, he has 40 feet of movement. So I'll say he, knowing that his job is kind of to stop him, that he'll use his dash and try and get in front of him. But that will be his turn because he's a beast that does not have bonus actions. So that's the end for him. Will bring us to Kiroso, who is currently in the waters of the infinite, swimming as quickly as he can. While you are down there, go ahead and give me your wisdom saving throws at advantage as you find yourself fighting to stay grounded in here. As you are continuing to swim further down, you are feeling a bit of almost help in some way. There's slight relief the faster that you are descending. And go ahead and give me a perception check while you're there. This will be just a flat one. Okay, very nice. Good lord.
29, no big deal.
Yeah, no problem. Just a quick 29. We're in good shape here. But as you are swimming, you've countless times had just a nice time within the infinite, swimming, whatever, just lounging. This is almost a second home, if anything. But for the first time in your experience with the infinite, you're pretty sure you saw something moving very, very far down. It's really dark down there, but there was certainly some kind of movement that you noticed. Couldn't make out details, but that wasn't the current that you noticed below you. And I will leave you there as you continue swimming downwards. And thankfully avoid the damage this round. Helda, you are...
Spirit goes after I do.
Oh, that's true. I'm so sorry. Yes, your spirit goes.
I got 5 feet to spare to come up into this business where I think I'll be taking damage going forward, but I can take 10 rounds of it. And this elemental spirit is here to die, so... It's gonna attempt to grapple again.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's much worse than it was before. He
that
can
is
fail.
Much worse, yeah. He doesn't have advantage. That does unfortunately miss.
All right. Well, then I got a second attack. We'll try again. This is a better number.
Yeah, that absolutely is. It's a big man. He does not have a lot of AC. Let's see. Hold on. I can choose athletics for him, right? That are
you can defend with athletics or acrobatics.
Correct.
The attacker has.
I always forget who has. Oh, okay. Last time I rolled like ass. Maybe I'm out of it now. Let's see. But he does resist that one.
Okay, well that's the 2 attacks it's making to try and slow this guy down, and so it's just kind of like waving some water at him, and it's not doing nothing. But we keep trying.
This time he just kind of waves his arm off and sort of can't really shove the water spirit because it's kind of watery, but manages to kind of brute force his way out of the grapple this time. But I believe that'll do it. So that's the end of his turn. Yep, that'll do it. I'm going to add a turn for this guy because otherwise I will forget every time. Your initiative is 13, so I'm going to give It's a 12. So I remember. Okay, there we go. Helda.
We are going to continue the assignment and run towards the fishman.
All right. As you are running towards the fishman, you can double dash, correct? Because you can bonus action dash as well? Okay.
Yes.
So you are moving quite quickly. And what is your movement normally? It's fucking bonus.
55.
Yeah, okay. Jesus. All right. So you're booking it. While you are doing this, go ahead and give me an investigation. I'm going to give this to you at disadvantage just because you are hauling, so you might not be looking for finesse and details as you were doing so.
And you said investigation?
Just kind of investigation, yes. Oh, okay. Oh, it's 2 3s. Damn, you have good bonus investigation. I forgot about that. As you are running, the artifact that had been guiding you this whole time continues its sort of vibration and some sort of light that seems to direct you in some kind of way, almost like a compass. But there's a heat that starts coming from it that you didn't really feel initially. And it's kind of bordering on like dangerously painful, but it's not just yet. You're not sure if you hold this for too long, if you will wind up taking damage.
All right. How far are we from Caroso at this point?
You are probably a round away from like the banks of the Infinite.
Okay. Then we're gonna continue with the court. What was the thing an American president said? Continue with the court, something like that. And we're gonna try and see if we can help him out with this thing. It seems to be be near him. So let's see. We're gonna try and just hold on to it.
All
You
right.
just hot potato it, and then the breeze from you running so fast should cool it.
You figured it out, boys.
Hey, this man is telling me to use the strategy I use for tortillas in the kitchen. Gotcha. Okay.
How does your tortilla strategy work? Because it sounds like a...
Oh, no, it's hot. Don't get hurt, man, is what I'm saying.
I've learned something about Kit in the kitchen today. it's a good lesson, I think, for anybody.
Okay, I think that's my turn, Foozie.
Okay, no problem. So as that is happening, we go back to the shaman, who is still trying desperately to get out of here. He's going to kind of wrench his neck back at Cam again and just, could you just fuck off? And he's going to try to look at you again. Actually, hold on, let me double check. Yeah, he gets to make 2 attacks. He's gonna stab at you once with his dagger and hope that it hits before he does something else. 20?
Perfect. Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so in landing that, you take 13 points of piercing damage, and as he does so, his Cursed Visions dagger procs, so go ahead and give me a Wisdom saving throw. Okay, you are short, but I will tell you, you are within your D4 range, so if you wanted to use your D4 to pass, you could use that now.
Let's do it.
Oh, you're 1 short! You needed a 3 or a 4 to pass, and unfortunately fails this one. As the dagger sinks into you, you feel a burst of some painful visions coming through. But actually, Evie, I'll kind of pass it off to you for a second. What would be a painful memory for Cam that would be forced to... This again. We're back in Awakenings, folks, for Cam.
For fucking Cam, though?
For fucking Cam.
Oh,
I love who's over here, like, give me some trauma like that I can throw at you.
What you got? Let's just like real quick. What's a painful memory?
Probably. It's probably like completely frozen, shocked face, not even feeling the dagger at this point, because he's gonna have a vision of when he was in psychological training, we'll call it, from Mirswa's servant that had been his handler.
Mm-hmm.
So probably him, like, watching as something is happening as a result of information or an item that he had found.
And as the memory kind of washes over you, you will unfortunately take some more psychic damage, and you will find yourself stunned. God, I rolled really well on that one. 21 points of psychic damage, and you are now stunned until the start of your turn, in which you get to try and roll out again.
Okay.
But that's his first attack. Actually, we'll try and stab Lush too while he's here. He won't be able to do the curse again. Short sword. I don't remember Lush's AC. Okay, he barely hit.
Yeah, I'm just like,
it's 16.
I would have to pull it up. Okay.
Yeah, I had to pull it up as well. I forgot immediately. All right, so he does sink his short sword into Lush as well, and then he's going to try to push past him and keep going. Which means Spirit and Lush do get an attack of opportunity as he is trying to get the book out of here. Nope. Unfortunately, that misses. Lush. Do you want to roll for Lush, actually, or would you like me to?
Oh, hold on. It didn't... Okay.
What am I
the
rolling?
sheet is supposed to add my spell attack modifier, but it doesn't automatically. So I rolled a 10 on the die, and my attack modifier is 12. So does a 22 hit?
Yeah, 22 will super hit. Good lord. Oh, dang. Yeah, that misses. Yep, the 14 damage he will take on the way.
Plus the spell's level, and this was a 4th level spell, so 18 damage.
18. Okay, good. He is starting to look a little battered, as he did come in and take a few spells.
Well, he's about to be deep fried.
Such. So he's starting. He's not quite there, but he's nearly at the bloodied point right now. But he is trying to get the book out of here. Lush, I'm just gonna double check. It's normal. Oh, okay, I guess it's normal. Anyway, that's the end of his turn. Cam, at the start of your turn, you can roll to get out of this stunned vision of yours.
Wisdom or charisma?
Correct. Yeah, wisdom saving throw. Yeah, thankfully not a
Okay.
charisma. Charisma is the evil eye that he did not do against one.
Okay, good.
Oh wait, hold on. Is that what you... No, that's not what you need. Hold on. I have to double check. I'm getting excited for no reason.
No,
DC,
I was
DC
short
17.
on the last one.
Yeah, DC 17.
I was short on the last
Just
one,
missed
so.
it too. Dang it. You unfortunately remain trapped in this memory and stunned. I will go then to Lush. Who, let me see. Toss, it's a gore attack. Oh, okay, so it's just his gore attack. All right, 1 and 2. All right, so he's going to use his gore and hooves on this guy. I'm gonna have Evie, you pick up for Lush for rolls and such.
Okay.
Just because I want to give you the satisfaction, especially now that.
Let me open up the other sheet then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on normal, so gore first.
Yes, and then 2. Yeah, all right. That'll do. Okay.
Then 2 hoof attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get them all out of the way really quick.
That one, this is okay. Yeah. So 1 hoof and the gore.
Okay, it is not giving me the option.
You should be able
click
to
for the damage.
Really?
If you click on an attack name, it should...
Yeah.
I did. That's what I clicked on for it to roll the attack.
Oh, normally it would give you an error message if it... Like, mine does that.
Oh, well, I mean, like, in the actual chat itself, like, so where it posted, where it says attack 28, if you go, like, click
Okay.
there you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the 12 didn't hit.
Yes, the 12 did not hit, but the 27 absolutely does.
Okay.
Damage all around. With that, our buddy is officially in bloody territory as he goes to run and just gets stabbed with antlers in the back.
Also,
Actually, a little bit lower.
there's an impale and toss. He's not medium. Never mind.
Yeah, I was looking at that too, and I was like, no, he's a big boy. Unfortunately, he can't chuck him.
Yeah.
Because that would have been dope. All right. I believe that will be the end of Lush's turn. And then that brings us to Kiroso. please go ahead and give me another wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Ooh. A 3 and a 5. As soon as you start to see that movement, you clock it just long enough for you to unfortunately get racked with more psychic damage. Let's hope I don't roll well for this one. It's a good chunk. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Is that also an advantage, or is it just the wisdom saves?
This would be flat. Thank you for asking. Okay, not bad. As you are on your way down, and once again you feel just a tugging at something that you can't even describe. It is extremely painful, and it feels almost as though you are ripped full out of your own body before you kind of resist it and fight to center yourself again. Your Constitution saving throw was to kind of see if you more or less lose consciousness, or if you can even kind of fight again. You are still here, you are still conscious, but I'm not sure how much longer this is going to
Am I in a
last for
position
you.
to be able to cast a spell?
Correct. Yes, you have your full action, so if you're not using it to move, you can do something else.
I'm going to do a little thing I like to call panic.
I don't remember that spell. Okay.
No, it's just the maximum amount of magic in heal me, please.
Okay.
That almost undoes everything I just took.
Yeah,
Not
that was a
quite.
really good roll. Holy shit.
And now I can take
Nice.
one more round of that, if need
Yeah.
be. Mark off that level
If-
7 spell slot.
If it comes down to that.
I'm just sitting here looking at heal, which I have access to, but didn't prepare. Because that'd have been real nice, but that's all right. We will move on from there.
I'm just looking over my spells and casting regret. Everything
It's
will
fine.
be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. And
I'll
obviously, yeah. Get your boy in there.
Elemental in. That's a 17, and that's an 18.
Okay. Yeah, they both hit. Yeah, absolutely.
Thankfully,
this
he's real big, because I rolled
Yeah.
a 3, a 5, a 5, and a 6 just now. I guess a 16 in
Yes.
the middle there. And
He's
we
pretty
can't knock
garbage
the heal.
AC.
The heal wasn't bad. Damage. So each of these is +4, so that's 14 and 11.
11 and 14. All right. Please click on his hit points. Thank you. All right. So he's at that. Every now and then when I'm doing hit points, I'm suddenly reminded of this one moment where I made him DM while I went to the bathroom, and he said the hit points of the boss out loud, and I was like, "Did you just? Please don't do that."
I'm curious. As a DM, what do you do in that situation? How do you fix that?
You
I
just change
don't.
the
They
number.
just know.
Okay.
No, at that moment, actually, that was one of the few fights where they ran away. So the hit points were irrelevant because they were just like, we don't have to fight this thing. We need to just get the fuck out. So they left, and it was irrelevant. So dubs for Prez. Yeah, Nenus was there.
I'm just sitting over here like the real Foos move would have been like, you know what? HP is double now.
Well, then
No,
it's still
no.
no. You just go, I'm going to roll an indeterminate number of dice, and he heals for an indeterminate number.
Mhm.
You don't know.
I got DoorDash ready to go. Dubs is eating right now. He's fine. I don't know if you can even hear the noises in the background, but that's what he's doing. Oh my god. Also, thank you. All right, so that's the end of your turn. That brings us to Helda. Helda?
All right.
what would you like to do?
Our directive is get the burning compass to the
Fuck.
fucked up fish man here. So let us keep running here.
All right, so we're using everything again.
Mm-hmm.
You can give me a flat investigation this time, just because I think your focus is on the artifact a little bit more now.
Okay.
As your hands are kind of, it's hot.
All right. I rolled 2 3s last time. It can only get better, right?
Can only get better.
Technically,
Only
no.
go up from here.
It most likely will get
That was medicine. Whatever. I rolled an 18. That's 30.
30. Holy shit. Okay.
I feel like you started this episode by saying you were dumb, and I feel like that was a lie.
30. Holy shit. Okay, with that, also roll me a Constitution saving throw as it's getting hot. It's getting very hot.
Con is not that great. Okay, not bad.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. As this continues to kind of burn and get a little bit hotter, you start to notice that the sort of lighting that is appearing on top of it, whatever arcane runes are there that are trying to act as a compass, are also starting to form a shape of some kind. It's a little bit hard to make out, but it's certainly a shape. Go ahead and give me a religion check and see if...
Religion.
Religion.
What do I have in religion?
I
have a
imagine
2 in
nothing.
religion.
Yeah. just
Okay.
for the base intelligence. Yeah. Go for it.
All right, let's see it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Okay. This is clearly a symbol of some kind that's coming out. It's a little bit hard to make out, but what you can make out seem to be the symbols of a skull and some wings. But there's other details to it that you can't quite get, but those two pop out at you immediately. And as you are starting to go, you're also noticing the compass, while before it was very clearly in one direction, it kind of almost seems to be going in a few, almost like it's kind of confused. And just because you came from that location, you notice that it seems to be kind of spinning. And again, your investigation was a 30. So it seems to be pinging between Kiroso, who is still in the water, and that large creature that is being slowed down by Cam right now. And Lush.
Okay. So is it only going in those 2 directions, or are there more?
Correct. It just seems to be going in 2 directions, but it's just kind of rapidly flipping between them right now.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But yeah,
Mundo.
that's
This is
more
terrifying.
or less.
I think she'd be
What's-
talking to the compass like, buddy, why are you freaking out? Like that kind of thing.
Yep. And while you are here, you have made it to the water's edge of the Infinite. You're making a bit of a scene, as the Infinite is kind of a place for most of the citizens to kind of relax, get some water, do whatever they would like for the day while they're there. Some treat it as a beach, kind of, so they'll lay out and just enjoy the morning there. And you come flying out of the corner playing like hot potato with some glowing artifact, making it up to the water. But you can see that like a decent amount of the people already seem a little like on edge after apparently a giant eagle just dove face first into the water not too long ago. But because you're a standing person who just ran in a few seconds after this happened, there's a lot of eyes on you right now, Hilda. And you certainly do not blend in.
Can I roleplay this for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you guys see where the giant eagle went?
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, my persuasion is shit. Okay. Okay, there you go.
Okay. There's just a gape stares at you, just. Also, partially because you're smack dab in the middle of an African city, and you are a pale redhead asking about a giant eagle. So it's just like, what the heck is going on? Yeah, there's a lot of stares at you, but unfortunately no information that will help you. But Helda, we will leave you there at the banks of the water. Which brings us back to the shaman. Once he gets off the map here, then he is 100 feet or so away from the other map of him essentially being on the, which you guys do not see. This is just for my reference. I'm just telling you guys in advance, but he is not terribly far from the water on his end, but he is... Insomnia, what's up? I just read the well, and it kind of cracked me up whenever we hear. What's up, man? How you doing? Insomnia out here hanging out with everybody, and that's part of the reason we love him, because he's the best. He is going to... Oh my god, that is adorable. The giant thing is amazing. I'm doing great as always. Good. I was glad to see you playing with Rev. That looked really cool and fun. I wasn't able to watch the whole time, but it was good. No, you're the best. I gotta steal you for another thing, or you gotta steal us for another thing. Whatever. We had you on our channel. We need to show up on your channel sometime. Anyway, pardon me as I babble as it's my turn. He is going to try and stab Lush and see if he can stun him as well. But he has to stab him first. I do that once per turn. Oh wow, yeah, that'll hit. Please have Lush roll me a wisdom saving throw. Thank you! I think that's my first DM inspiration. Oof.
Is it magic?
It is magic. This would, yeah, he would have
It's a
advantage.
magical effect, so he has advantage. Let me do another roll. Fuck.
So short, unfortunately. But as the stab goes off, to this, he would likely have. Let me just double check. Yeah, all right. So he will still take the damage. Also, I hear someone's fan real good right now. It might be Joe. It's Joe, I think, because when he backed up.
May or may not have leaned forward into the stream.
Yeah, that might have been it. That might have been it. But you are Lush takes 22 points of psychic damage, and he is under the effects of a stun as he seems to be reliving something. Cam, if you were currently
edit the hit points for Lush on this.
Okay, you might need to do it on the token itself. So if you click on him, when the stats come up, if they do come up, do they come up for you?
They do.
Okay,
how
great.
much did he
You
take?
can-
22?
22, yeah. So you can type straight into that 135, and then it should update for you.
Okay.
All right. That being said, I should probably make it so that everybody can see that. Save settings. Okay, there we go. So
there we go.
Cam, you are distracted, but I want to just give you a chance just in case. Give me a wisdom saving throw. Just a flat
From
one.
Cam?
Yeah. Oh, dang. Okay. As you are reliving the horrors of your past traumas, for just a second, a part of another memory started kind of invading yours for a moment. Your connection with Lush kind of bleeding between the lines, but yours is a little too heavy for Cam to focus on anything other than that. But for a moment, you did kind of feel a bit of what Lush was going through, which was mostly pain and despair. So unfortunately, Lush is stuck there. He's going to use the second stab on I guess he has to use it because he has to. Yeah, okay. He's going to try and stab Lush again. He has advantage because he's stunned. And then he takes another 13, and then he's going to fuck off again. He uses other one to. Yeah, no, okay. He's just got to run. He's not looking good. Oh, I forgot to measure. Hold on. All right, almost at the edge. All right, next round he will be off the map if he manages to continue onward. With that, that's the end of his turn.
Water
Which
elemental get to smack him in the ass as he runs away.
he absolutely does. Water smack in the ass. That hits.
And that's
Is the impact
18
kind of like
altogether.
Sorry,
is the impact like getting hit? Is the impact like getting hit with a water balloon?
No.
What's he like?
It's like if you made water not ice, but still like doing a belly flop, like in a bad way.
That's literally what I was gonna say. It's like when you fall into the water and it's a bad time. That you're literally getting slapped with water.
I tend to avoid the water. Yeah.
Water's
That's a
great.
good point. I forgot about that. I love water. That brings us to
18
Cam. At
altogether,
this... Yes, thank you. I did take the damage. Cam, at the start of your turn, you get a wisdom save.
It's a fan there.
Hey,
There it is.
All right, broke
Fucking
free.
Finally.
You break free of your memory, and feel free to narrate that if you would like to, or if it just is an abrupt end to this effect.
Okay, Fuck. 75. I am not going to be able to reach with that one. So instead, it's just going to be an immediate cast of spike growth to try and slow him down
Dope.
right in front of him.
Perfect. Awesome. 20-foot radius. That's very large. Okay. Just because
so
it's one
like
of the
it's
assets
just like
I can-
filling this entire area in front of him and kind of
Mhm.
underneath him.
It's not fire, but I'm going to use fire because it's one of the quick assets I can pull up real quick.
Okay.
Listen,
So
if you put up some dry, spiky shrubs, they might ignite in this hot weather.
It's true. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Let's see. Let me just make sure.
So it's
that
also partially in front of him.
accurate. Okay. some more like that, I
go
guess.
through more of it to move away from this.
And it's wider than like the walkways, the streetway here, so there's no way you like
trying to climb over a building or go through a building, not happening right now.
Perfect.
So Cam comes out of it like still somewhat stunned and traumatized from having seen the results or having been reminded of the results of his prior actions, and starts just thoroughly cussing this guy out in Abyssal. Like switches briefly into Infernal, switches back to an Abyssal, and then just uses what little he has of his movement to try and get closer.
Good job,
Yeah. Let's see. And then, fuck, I don't think I have any bonus action things that can help me currently. Second.
Prize and bonus
That
action.
is an action. That is an action.
I'm just staring at Kid's shirt. Miss Catonic?
Yeah, all of those are actions.
It's a university in Lovecraft lore.
Ah.
Okay. Yeah, all of those are actions, so that would end for me.
Okay, sounds good, thank you. I was learning about the Department of Necromancy in my free time. Lush can go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw. It is at advantage to get out of the stun.
Advantage, wisdom.
He's out. All right. 17 was the number you needed.
And Cam, like, because he's right there now, finally, like, just gently pats Lush on, like, his back and is still, like, cussing in, like, a variety of not so kosher languages.
Amazing. But Lush, breaking free of the memory, you see a deer-like creature stagger as much as he can on four hooves, and then sort of right himself and go charging in. I think he might be just at the... Oh, that's a big old circle rather than a line, but I think it was still within the 40 feet. Yep, so he can definitely make it. Go ahead and roll me for his antlers and his two hooves.
All right.
Oof, attacks.
Attack.
Yep.
Attack.
Oh, well, I don't think they're at advantage, are they? Unless there's something that I don't know. I think the advantage was still clicked on. You're good. So he hits with 2. The gore and the hooves still hit. The 12, as per usual, will count the first one. So the 12 misses, but the 15 hits because Zacy's ass. Go ahead and roll those for me.
Okay, so there's the hooves.
Nice.
There's the gore.
He's doing some damage. This kind of feels nice as well because last time I played Lush, I missed almost every time. He passed every single saving throw, but he missed almost every single time. I was like, hey, he runs up there and misses. So he's doing really good damage. He's looking hurt and tangled up in plants. But that, I believe, will be the end of Lush's turn, which brings us to our fish of the hour. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw. Very nice. No damage at this point, but you are starting to kind of gain a little more traction on kind of what is happening around you. You saw movement down there, but you're also starting to kind of feel a presence over you in some way. He also has never necessarily been a religious person, as the Oasis has been what you focused on, and there wasn't necessarily an entity that you have communed with in any case, really. But this is undeniably that. Something seems to have made a connection with you. And judging by sort of, there's a bit of still more movement beneath you that seems to be kind of not quite a swimming pattern, but there's something kind of rhythmic to it down there. But whatever seems to be looking over you seems to do so in not quite a panic, but an urgency to it. And go ahead and give me I'll kind of leave this up to you, I guess. If you're trying to kind of suss out perhaps what connection this is, that would be an insight. If you're trying to kind of make what's what of what is happening to you right now, that'd be more of a perception check.
It's gonna be the perception. This is the kind of thing, like, not overly religious, like you said. Like, I'm aware of the gods; they exist and they do stuff, but never particularly needed like a "you're the guy for me" kind of situation. Like, the world is, nature's indifferent, but everything you need is there if you know how to look for it. So I don't need like a person.
Oh my God. It's another casual 29. Very nice. The movement that you're seeing beneath you is now clearer. There does seem to be a figure of some kind moving towards you. The water distortion alone, the waves and such, and you are also deep underwater at this moment. It's darker down here, not quite as clear. But what you can make out are limbs and figure of a humanoid making their way towards you. Sort of long and lithe in some ways that you can make out. But there is a likely weapon, rolled 29, a bow of some kind within the silhouette of that creature as it gets a little bit closer towards you. Joe's like, I have a bad track record with you sending bow-wielding people at me.
I mean, we'll see. I was led here, so there's a decent chance this is a good thing, but I'm fully prepared for it to be a bad thing, because it was the last time there was a figure. Also, I was dying a little inside with laughter, because you said it was rhythmic movement, and then you went on to describe it as urgent. But when you said rhythmic movement, my first thought was someone's doing the Macarena. And when they were urgently doing the Macarena, it became hilarious.
Well, for clarification, the rhythmic movement is what you see in the water. The urgency was whoever was connecting to you. So it
Fair
wasn't
enough. I conflated them, but
okay. I need confirmation though. Is the Macarena happening or not?
Apparently not. It's somebody moving towards me with a bow, possibly to kill me. But maybe do that.
But it's on its way. Also, as per usual, you do have your turn. So if you're using all that to continue swimming or to do anything else, you have the opportunity.
In general, I've been dashing other than when I needed to heal. No, I was gonna say I can shape water to try and make a funnel of downward flowing water, but it's a 5-foot cube. It's much faster if I just use my action to swim another 40 feet.
Yeah.
So
not a problem.
That is.
So we'll have you continue doing that. All right, that will bring us back to the elemental spirit above ground.
Yeah. All right. And then we'll do a little bit of that. And that's a 22 because it's plus 12, and that is a 29.
Yeah, that's a yep.
And then 11 plus 4 is 15, plus 9, 24 bludgeoning altogether.
This guy is beating up my boy. All right. It's doing good damage. Do you have to concentrate to keep him up, or is he one of those, as soon as he comes up, you're good?
Let me remember, because I may have needed to make a concentration check.
Yeah, because you did take a chunk of damage, but I don't remember.
My elemental spirit? No, it's some elementals I'm looking for. Sweet. It is concentration.
It is indeed.
You might get roughly 40 HP back, because I think I got to make
right, yeah.
44 damage is what I took, and that's more than half of that.
Yep. Cool, awesome. Joe, why are you rolling so well? What's happening?
Listen, at the risk of losing a membership in one of my favorite clubs, Caroso might just be the secret sauce.
Maybe difficult terrain is because... Yeah, that's true. Yep.
That's true. Garai was also the exception to the rule. It might just be difficult terrain. This is where I was meant to be, so don't kill me, please.
I mean, I can go back to someone else. Anyway, we go back to Zelda. You find yourself at the banks of the water, having asked if anyone saw a giant eagle. Met with open mouth stares, pretty much, and an artifact that is dangerously close to burning your fingers right now. And also rapidly kind of flying between two locations.
Okay. So I'm assuming the fishman turned eagle, turned back to fishman, is in the water here, and we're just gonna use follow the compass here in the direction that it's telling me to go.
Okay. It is giving you 2 directions, but
Mhm.
I'm assuming you're gonna
No.
continue on the older path. That would put you into the water.
Mhm.
So are you going to start swimming as Helda?
Can she see anything right now?
It's clearly water that is rippling from motion, but you do not see Kiroso, unfortunately.
All right.
This boy's deep in the water right now.
All right.
Can
How
she
would
even reach him?
how would swimming work here?
You can go ahead and give me an int check for Helda in general.
An in check, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm dumb. Okay.
You're not that dumb. That's fine. Just in general, just like quick things that Helda would think of immediately is the fact that the short time you did get to see Kiroso, that's clearly a fish man. Like, that man is meant for water, meant for swimming. Helda would not be able to keep up. There's just no way. Just because simply he's meant for that. And if he is in there, the distance between the two of you might be kind of great at the moment. So closing that distance might be a little tough. But Helda just knows, just from getting there and clocking Kiroso earlier, that catching up in water is probably not an option.
All right. So what can I do here? Well, what's the artifact telling me? It's glowing, it's burning, it's got these symbols on it. How do I use it to help it?
I mean, I'll tell you what you can do. Some Macarena. I don't know the moves. I just wanted to bring back the Macarena.
I
I don't know the words either. I just know the tune vaguely. Hey, Macarena.
And we broke into the Macarena. Okay, so Macarena aside, you rolled ridiculous on your investigation last time, right? What was it?
30.
30. 30. Okay, cool.
30,
I was like, it was a
30.
20, 30. Cool.
Rolled an 18 plus my investigation 12 is 30.
Exactly. So with a 30, I'm going to kind of carry that into your decision making right now because you were able to really like sit and focus on this thing. It's again the kind of compass aspect of this is just wildly flying between the two, and from the distance that you have kind of closed in a little bit on Kiroso, you can hear a bit of commotion as some of the people who are walking through the city are reacting to perhaps a fight or something that's happening behind you, and you also know it's from the direction that you just
I know what's happening.
Exactly. So you know what's going on behind you, and you're starting to kind of piece together that likely because whatever is behind you is closing in, that is interfering or perhaps confusing the artifact in some way. Because before there was one clear target, because Kiroso was here in this realm very clearly the entire time. Once that creature arrived, it was kind of split between the two. And now that thing is probably closer to you than Kiroso is, which is why your artifact is struggling to focus. With that, go ahead and give me an Arcana check. I know it's not what she's good at, but there's a chance as you are kind of piecing this together that you might deduce something else. No, it's so awful when you have a low bonus to something and you're like, single digits, baby. Just, here you go. Yeah, it's hard to make out what exactly is going on. You just know that this artifact can target both Kiroso, or what I should say is, it can target either Kiroso or whatever creature is behind you. You're not entirely sure what the end result is, but artifact is clearly targeting one of them, or is trying to. And in the time it takes you to do this, go ahead and roll me a Constitution save, as it's getting hotter. Nice. Very, very nice. All right. The good news is you will be taking half damage of the fire damage that comes from it. 2 6s, 2 1s, 2 4s, almost average. Okay. 22. So you take 11 points of fire damage as it starts to kind of burn into you. You also, with your 30 investigation, are reading that this is likely the artifact's urging you to perhaps make a decision or to more or less use it within a short period of time, because there is likely a window in which this will work, and you are closing in on when it will stop working.
Okay, does she know how to use it, though? I remember you mentioning charges on it.
Yes, you know that it has charges. There's 3 currently, and it had previous ones, but they've seemingly been used. There are 3 currently, but you don't necessarily know what using it means. Despite your identify spell, it seems to kind of either evade that or give you information that does not seem to make sense.
Okay.
Go gadget artifact.
Yeah, just say that. And do nothing else.
I mean, depending on how many monk levels you get a big rock, you run 165 feet out across the surface of the water, and then you sink with your big rock, and you'll catch up.
Or
There may or may not be a risk of drowning, but you cross that bridge when you come to it.
Or we can,
Sorry,
what we can try here is the diving technique again, like do the blue-footed bobby thing again.
The blue-footed booby. They're
Booby,
boobies.
right?
They're not bobbies. Yeah.
All right, booby. Try the blue-footed booby dive here. Okay, so urgency is happening. Let's kill my character then.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we are going to try this again. We are going to try and get this thing to him.
Okay.
And so we are going to use our... hold on, where is it? Step of the Wind here. And that lets us, because I am Dragon Monk, use Wings Unfurl.
Blue-footed booby it is!
Blue-footed booby time it is. Okay.
Uh-huh.
We're very pro-booby around here.
We are...
And I think at this point she'd be happy. She likes to talk to herself aloud a lot. Like, I'm about to do something this is going to be stupid, isn't it? Yeah, okay. She'll take a step back and, again, you see her focus, her key here, and just this dark shadowy stuff to come out from behind her shoulder blades. And she immediately jumps in and tries to just get as deep as she can to go and get this to him.
Very nice. This is... If you didn't have enough stairs on you already, the onlookers watching as dark, spectral, bony dragon wings coming out of your back, and you fly up and then into their sacred infinite, is you hear audible gasps as you just kind of break the water and head on in. Cam, it's a little hard to hear, but your perception is bananas. On the other end,
Yes.
like, you can hear slight panic happening around the infinite. The general public is not having a good time over there. But
First an eagle, now
is-
this. The neighborhood's really gone downhill.
I mean, one of them is
Wait
an eagle,
until
but
they
the
see
other one-
what's coming.
Yeah, I know, right? This pig just kind of barrels in. It's like, this is a fucked morning. I'm gonna leave. This is not cool. Helda, go ahead and... Oh, go ahead.
Scary ass ogre shaman thing, Lush in his deer form
Lush.
immediately after, and then Cam with like the big ass shadowy wings as well, glowing with horns, all dive in. Yeah, no, this is not gonna be
You're
good.
gonna look and go, the water elemental's the most normal thing I saw today.
Yeah. Pretty
That
much.
water elemental smacking the piss out of this guy is the most regular thing in this environment. Yeah, so lots of chaos happening. Helda, as you are diving into the water, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw. This is mostly kind of you bracing for impact and more or less how well this dive will go. It's not great. It's not great. But go ahead and give me acrobatics on top of that. This is mostly to see how well this dive will help you out. The Constitution... God damn, boy! Those 2 4s in a row? Sir! Okay. As you are diving downwards, you have flown plenty of times, but this is a new technique and you're not used to it. You hit the water a little bit harder than you're expecting, and unfortunately you lose a little bit of air on the way down just because of the impact alone. You don't gain as much movement as you should have, unfortunately, because perhaps the impact alone kind of jarred poor Helda. But you are in the water. I'll say that just momentum and weight alone, you are a good probably 20 feet or so beneath the surface of the water. And everybody all the onlookers got to watch you splash into the water with not nearly as much grace as the giant eagle moments before, who was used to the water. But you are now underwater. The artifact in your hand is still quite hot, even though the water itself likely should have given you some relief, some cooling feeling. It seems to ignore that entirely and still burn your hands.
Can I dash on the water? Is that a thing?
Yeah, absolutely you can. You did use your key to Step of the Wind to get out there first, so you can action dash, I guess? Let me just double check. When you use Step of the Wind. Yeah. So you can action dash on your way down.
All right.
And keep swimming.
So I have the elfie eyes. I can see in the dimmer light. Can I see anything out here? Like, do I have eyes on this man, on the fish man?
Not yet. Well, give me a perception check. He's down. He's down deep, but we'll see if you are looking in the right direction. Oh god.
I want to cry. Oh my god.
It's a 16. Not so bad.
Oh my god.
You're following the way down deep dark down.
If you do want to feel better, Vogley just gave you a D4. If you add it to this, it negates the nat 1. So if you would like, you can add it to this and,
Thank you, Vogley. Oh my god.
and fix your nat 1.
But Foos, you also have a D4.
I do, but
You
he's
could
so
take that
sad.
away.
Oh my god.
I don't know who said that,
save
but
it
they're
for-
accurate.
I'm gonna save it for my big boy. All right. So with that, you now have a 19 perception. It is dark the further down it goes. The morning sun isn't even at its full height yet, so you don't have a lot of light helping you. And even with your dim light vision, not picking up a ton. But what you can pick up instead is what seems to be current. Something is swimming through this water frantically. So that alone you can kind of pick up in the water. So you have a clear direction of where to go if your burning artifact wasn't already doing that while flipping between two targets. But that is what you're able to pick up.
All right. So yeah, we will use the dash action and try and get as close to these guys. Yeah.
Swimming your ass off down there. All right. That will bring us to the shaman, who's in a bit of a pickle because he has to go through this freaking.
He doesn't have to. He can just abandon the
Spike
infinite, and no
growth.
one will be upset.
That'll be fine.
I'm just trying to see what he can do right now. Difficult terrain. It doesn't have too many of those. When a creature moves, it's okay. Difficult terrain, and then every 5 feet is 2d4 points of damage. Okay, cool. He can't really run and leap either. All right, so what he's gonna do is it's 20-foot radius. So if he's in it, and he has about 40 feet to move his way through. He's not gonna make it through if he tries to just run. He's gonna use some of
He
his
could dash
movement.
and still not quite make it through.
Yeah.
There's an
That's
option.
true. I didn't even think about that. If he dashed, he wouldn't make it all the way through. Okay. I'm going to roll for him an athletics check for him to try and standing leap forward a little bit to try and negate some of the distance for himself. But we will see how well that goes. But he is going to use his... Oh, dang. That was a very good roll. All right. So with that, because his strength is pretty high, I'll say that he's able to negate about 20 feet from where he's standing. So he still has another 20 to go through. He's going to use his whole action and such to go
Isn't
through
that
that.
radius though? Because it's
Well-
a 20-foot radius, so it's. Oh yeah.
He's
so
still got another
yeah.
20.
Yeah.
If he was,
Negate
yeah,
half
if he
of
went
it.
But
through,
does he get 2 opportunity
Exactly.
attacks?
he gets 2 opportunity attacks, and he takes, what is that? Is that 8d4 damage?
Yeah.
It's 2d4 for every 5, and he's going 20. So,
I rolled a
oh,
shit
okay, I
ton
see
of
it.
ones.
Oh, that is a lot of ones. Oh no! All right, still, he's getting ripped up.
That's a 15, but I think that still hits.
This is AC. I was like, did he miss? He did not
Did
miss.
15 damage.
15. Okay, and then 18. Excuse me, from the other thing. Oh, God, he's bad. Lush can also attack. because he is right there. Did it go through? Did I miss it? No, okay.
Oh, just a minute. Lush, wrong sheet. There we go. And
Lushalicious. Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
9 piercing.
All right. He is looking super bad. Okay. Let me do that. Wasn't expecting the wispy times. Yeah, he's using his whole action. He's essentially off the map by like 20 feet or so, but he is on his way to the next map, which I will likely move us all once we get there. But that's the end of his turn. He's just trying desperately to claw his way out of this. And Cam, you are up.
Okay. Which brings us around to me.
Yes.
All right. So I am going to... How far would you say he is from me?
He's about 80 feet away from you.
80
An extra
feet.
20 from where he is.
So
yeah.
I am going to move up, drop concentration on the one that is right there, and drop another spike growth because I have one more.
So what I get from this is you are trolling this man.
Yeah, I am trying to slow him down as much as fucking possible because I can't get to him to attack him. So I am using all of my spells to be like,
I just like that these vines essentially just kind of like
because I don't
creep
have
their way forward.
like my extra movement is dependent on me making an attack, so I can't attack unless I'm there. So he just gets like. Yeah, so that's 2 of my 2nd level spells. I've got like 1 more that I'm hoping to keep for my Misty Step, but yeah. I'm just dropping it on him. Like,
I
fuck
seriously
you.
just...
Fuck you. How dare you? How dare you stab me and run? Face me, bitch.
He stabs you, runs, leaps, and then trudges his way through this the plant growth here, and then is finally free, and then immediately set up with some more. That is amazing.
If he looks back, I'm flipping him off the same way that I did the Shark Man.
It's the somatic component of your spell.
Right. But you do see him kind of look back, the yellow eye glowing, and for a moment you're like, oh no, is that action gonna happen again? But instead you just hear, fuck, shit! He is stuck in this situation. That was your action and some movement. Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
Yep, and Lush can absolutely move up and do his 3-hit combo.
Okay. So we've got a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Okay, the gore is the only one that misses. His pitiful AC is 15. Boy, oh boy. Oh boy, is this boy hurt. Okay, he's still up, but it's not looking good. Lush is rearranging his back, and the 2 of you seem to have him on lock. But we will end our turn there with him fighting with plants and bleeding out in front of you as all this is happening. Kiroso, you know what time it is. Nice. Okay.
Ooh, wait,
I like watching the. Oh,
did he take damage? He took damage from the spell essentially by passing through it.
Yes.
I am drawing from my radiant consumption on him in that case, because I already have that up. Deal equals half my level rounded up. So
7?
you get a 7. Yeah, 7 extra damage.
Okay. All right, very nice. Yeah, Jesus. Okay, yeah, he takes that extra damage, and he's looking like you are watching once. Like it was always frantic movement because he was clearly trying to like get somewhere as quickly as he can. But now it is ragged. He is hunched over, wheezing, and seemingly barely able to stand on his feet. This boy is in single-digit territory. Not good for him. But as we move back to Kidoso, a fantastic wisdom save. Again, sort of grounding yourself and able to clearly take in everything that is happening around you. The figure in front of you with the bow kind of closes in until they are about 30 or so feet away, in which you don't see much movement from the figure, especially, it's kind of hard to make out with the details, but you can't really see sort of jaw movement, but you immediately hear the voice sort of in your mind instead. It seems feminine, and a voice that you certainly never heard before. But this voice greets you. You weren't supposed to be chosen this way.
Well, I was chosen. That sounds positive. It does not feel positive, but I am choosing to believe you in this.
I believe you were meant to be, but right now you are unstable.
Well,
He cannot.
someone broke into my home. I am justified in this.
I mean, you are in danger of falling apart.
Oh, this is much worse.
Yes. Your reprieve here is temporary. It won't last forever. You must find a solution, and I don't have one for you. But something is trying to take your place. And because you have succeeded as you have, there's a strength to you. But it has made you unstable, and you must find a way to fix that.
Then I will do this. I do not know how, but I will do this.
You must do so quickly.
Okay.
I know you said K, but for a second I thought you went gay.
No, I did say okay.
It is
Like,
that
yeah,
moment.
I'll
Happy
just do
Pride,
it then.
everyone.
No problem. Vogley's like, please, you can't have our new hire crumble to bits. He hasn't even come into the office yet.
Listen,
It's his
we'll
first
make a new guy.
day. He'll be
Sometimes you
fine.
make a boy this handsome just to miss him when he's gone.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. But yes, you do have the rest of your turn if there's anything else you want to do. Dead.
Well, there's just all sorts of divination. Point me in the right direction, please, and none of them are prepared. Because why would they be? So, what I'm gonna do is kind of, take a moment to just internally reflect and externally. Basically, something I've done a lot is to come down here and just kind of like wait until you kind of match the temperature of the water. The idea that you just kind of become part of your surrounding. And so, the Oasis ain't let me down before.
We'll stay here,
What's
buddy.
happening in the immediate? Because if I have to find a solution now, it's got to be close.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of seeing what's around. There's a presence
Yeah.
that was bonding that I can explore further, but whatever's around, I'm just looking around and feeling around and see what's up.
Yeah, if it's more about your physical, then again, that would be perception. If you're trying to explore that connection that is looking at you, that would be the insight.
Insight it is.
Blah! Oh my god, someone with high insight! This team has never in their history had someone with a good insight bonus.
Listen, I got all the wisdoms except medicine, and I'm good at them.
Okay, good. As you are focusing on the connection, the voice kind of rings out to you again. Not that way. As that starts to happen, you start watching as the vision that you have down here, dark, watery, that figure in front of you, starts kind of washing away into a brightness. As that starts to happen, another voice starts kind of speaking over hers, just as she says, not that way. another voice that you have not heard. That does not sound as perhaps concerned for your well-being starts addressing you. Oh, no. This way indeed. I think you're lost. Why don't you come to the surface?
I have not been lost in many years, especially not in this place.
And as you start saying that, you watch as your vision starts to turn fully white. You're starting to lose track of where you are. You can still swim and feel the water around you, but everything else is disappearing. And two black eyes open up a distance from you, large and looming. Special indeed. To the surface. Unless you want to fall apart, that is. There's no death in that, by the way. There's no afterlife. You just die.
What will be, but I do not think that it is this that you are saying to me. I will find a way.
Stubborn. And you feel the visions kind of starting to pull away, but certainly not of its own accord. Instead, you see the figure that was before a distance about 20 or so feet away from you as the white starts to kind of fade, first from the edges, kind of working its way to the center of your vision. And you see what seems to be a figure in armor that's gleaming slightly from whatever sunlight is reaching down here. Not a lot of details otherwise. Still dark, but not that way.
No, not that way.
Should you survive, we have a lot to discuss. But for now, I would prefer you don't get shattered.
I think that I too would prefer this, yes. And I'm gonna look about in the physical space, because the metaphysical is not safe. It's not a good time.
That's a bad time! Yeah. I would say your passive perception is, what, 25 or something?
20.
20, okay. There is a figure thrashing about in the water above you that is not a native to the water and seems to have wings? The silhouette alone is not enough detail, but something's coming for you right now. And they don't look like they know what they're doing.
I feel like we're going to hit a turn limit in a second, but
yeah.
I will put a pause on how do I fix me, because someone's going to drown in the infinite, and that's bad. And I can fix that at least. So I'm going to go fix that and then go from there.
Sounds good. All right. So an eventful time in the infinite. That brings us back again topside to your elemental spirit.
Yeah,
the 3 still.
Yeah, I gotta roll a 2 to. You gotta give him some armor, not just a big old backside.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, part of it is like. Anyway, this
18 and 18.
Yeah, he had single digits. What does it look like as this elemental spirit slaps the taste out of this large creature?
Oh, if this guy's going down, a water elemental can squeeze through spaces 1 inch in size. So essentially, it's gonna like tornado drain up into a nostril, mouth, orifice, whichever, and kind of go down, and then immediately pop up. And water doesn't compress, so it's like if you like that clunk of a pipe in your house, that water hammer that you hear. Like basically, the top of his skull like raises a bit, and then it's just kind of loose in his head, and the water then just drains back out.
Jeez. So Cam, you watch as it turns around and just in rage is cursing and desperate and trying to claw its way forward. Water enters the nose and mouth and a noise goes off, in which case you see him just sort of lingering in his stance, almost like he's too wide to fall naturally. But no, he probably would have earlier. But after a few wavers, you watch as almost painfully slowly it starts to collapse within the plant growth that you have here. And while it does, you see it start to almost flicker. The body itself seems to almost kind of almost phase in and out of the space that it's in right now. You're watching as almost like a video game glitch, like the arms are kind of going beneath the surface of the ground before popping back up. And that seems to continue even after it stops moving.
I'm just picturing a game that has the physics for a body to float in water, but it got confused and thinks the land is water. So it's like bobbing in place, but it's just dirt.
Yep. I was hanging out. But that is the spirit's turn. We're going to stay in initiative just for now, just because a bunch of different things are happening at the same time. But it might not be a full 6 seconds. It might be longer than that, and whatever, because we're just kind of going through storyline-wise. Helda, you dove into the water, and you were using the current to kind of guide you in the direction, as well as the burning artifact in your hands. I need another Constitution saving throw from you, from the heat of this thing. Nice. Okay, so you again will take half damage. So you take 20 or 10. Excuse me, 10. I was like, half is -1, right? No. I don't know why. Can we have an eyelash emo? I might need to make a GIF just so that you guys can post it in our Discord, as this is just the hilarious forever running joke. But the artifact continues to burn within your hands, and you are starting. Actually, you can go ahead and give me a perception check as well, just because it also is a distance away. But you might be able to notice that. Yeah. You notice that a
Why
dark.
can't I roll like that all the time?
Wouldn't it be fun? You gotta have the highs and lows. You gotta balance it out. It's okay.
There is no balance to this. What are you talking about?
You're fine. Don't worry. As you are focusing into the distance, there is a dark figure that seems to be swimming in your direction, and you didn't really get to see his body language in the water all that much. But just by the way your artifact is flaring in your hands, you're quite sure that is your target. Thankfully, heading in your direction. Or about to, really. I think he probably clocked you and is making the way right now. But what would you like to do, Hilda?
We are. I'm assuming this is Mr. Kiroso, and I'm gonna try my best to get to this man and see if we can activate this amulet when we get close enough to him.
All right, go ahead and give me an athletics as you are swimming through. This is to see how quickly you can maneuver your way through the water.
Oh, god damn it! I did 0.
No, it's not what you're good at. Okay. Can also more and more you're pretty sure that this is just a drowning woman. They are. She is making some ground, but it is clearly not a practiced swimmer. Certainly not what you're. Yeah, it's a lot of flailing.
Okay, so for kid, this is a personal thing. I'm already in this country. I never needed to learn how to swim. Okay. So, I don't know how to swim.
Okay. Yeah, no.
And this woman can walk on water. She don't need to know how to swim. Okay.
I'll say exactly. We just deal with the water by not dealing with the water is what.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so in initiative order, that would bring us back to the top. But I also realized we haven't taken a break. We're kind of closing in on the end of our adventure here. So let's take a quick break, a quick 10 minutes. I'm just going to round down, I guess, and say that it's 9:10. So we'll be back at 9:20. But let's take a break and be back. Personally, I would make a horrified emote. Really? Nah. Anyway, we'll be right back. Taking a quick break. See you in 10. It's 5. We're back. 5 means we're live. 2 hands up in the screen, just in case you forgot what 5 looks like. But we are picking up once again the large creature seemingly vanquished, but also kind of phasing a little bit through like the ground and the environment. Dead, but seemingly acting strange at the moment. We're gonna stick with initiative just because time is of the essence for certain things. But know that enemy is down, people are in the water, and we're gonna continue moving through. So at the top of the order is actually Cam and Lush, as this creature has fallen in front of you, and the water spirit that is there too. But the two of you can more or less act on the same turn because you're right next to each other.
Okay.
But what would Cam like to do?
Cam is still a little out of it from the memory that he was forced through. So he's gonna, like, keep the thorns active while he walks up to it, and, like, demonic snarl. Before he literally just kicks the somewhat mushy and loose head of this creature to see if, like, his foot phases through it, essentially.
Roll me a d4.
Okay.
Roll it quickly. D4 time runs out.
It's a solid kick. It is Cam's foot to this man's face. Solid connection.
Snarls at him a little bit more, drops the concentration on the thorns, and just kind of runs past him towards the infinite to see if there are any further threats, while he's still got the radiant consumption up. So, like, shadowy features, glowing eyes, creepy as shit still, as he runs up to the infinite to see if there are any other threats.
Gotcha. Lush, through your connection, you hear him. Target is down, but Infinite seems worried. We're going in the right direction. And you hear his hooves beside you as he catches up effortlessly, and you guys head towards the Infinite. But
just running.
Yep. The gasps continue. Just from the path you're taking, Cam, you're starting to notice that people are already seemingly making way and getting the fuck out of this area because of what they have already seen, most likely, and you are adding to that. So whoever is left is like, going back inside. This is not worth it right now. Fuck this shit. And yeah, not today. With that, we go to Kidoso, who has spotted a woman who doesn't seem to be able to swim.
Well, I am making my way towards the surface and this drowning person.
Now you did swim a few rounds to get down, but you are a pretty excellent swimmer. I'm just looking at something relevant. Go ahead and give me an athletics. I'd say at advantage, just because you are a native swimmer. So just to see if you get a little bit further than expected, which you do, I think. In swimming, you're able to kind of close the distance, especially enough to recognize that it is Helda, which you don't know her name, but it's that elf that was in your home before shit popped off. And she seems to have bony spectral wings coming from her back. And you can actually, Helda, how are you holding the artifact now that it is kind of burning your hands? Are you still like hot potatoing it down here, or what does that look like?
I think you'd be afraid of losing it in the water, so she's just holding on to it as much as you can.
Okay. So you would actually start to see the water kind of bubbling up around her hand, like, or nearly boiling off as she's kind of going down. And you can see her skin is a bit red from it as well. You're not close enough to close the distance fully. You're just enough to get all those details. You're probably a good, 70 feet away from each other right now.
Okay. Well, if I can dash to a little bit further, I need to be right up on it. Or, well, closer than I am at least. So I will continue to furiously get closer so nobody dies.
Sure.
Well, so that she doesn't die. I don't have a solid plan on fixing me, but I can prevent it.
We could do that. Helda, as you are also, as he is closing the distance on you, Artifact is where before it was kind of swinging between the two targets, and now seems to be kind of steadily on Kiroso. Thankfully, likely due to the distance, but also you don't know what happened, but that the other one, it's not really here anymore. But it is giving you a sort of dead ahead Kiroso of being there. And it is starting to flare even hotter within your hand. But you at least have the confirmation of your target as Kiroso gets closer. But I'll say that you are using your full action to close the distance on Hilda. So that will end our turn. I don't know if you have any plans for your spirit.
Technically, its only order is to make sure this thing doesn't get to the incident and it's not moving. So it's kind of just like idle animation. Because it's got nothing.
Water idle animation.
It's got nothing that it can do other than be like, yeah, I mean, if something tries to hit me, that's bad and I'll stop it. But other than that, I got it.
Other than that, yep, that's awesome.
Boss, you got anything else for me to do? No? All right.
No? All right. A part of me feels like it's just looking over the body while it's doing the idle animation. It's like, make sure it does not leave. All right, it's down. I'll stay here.
Get it.
But it's there. Helda. Water idle animation. It's just doing the wave. Yeah, exactly. It's just doing the wave. God dang it. Helda, your target is closing in on you, but your swimming capabilities are not enough for you to close the distance. But you do see Kiroso about a little over 60 feet away from you.
Okay. All right, so I'm assuming my movement is like I'd be like I'm over here like, oh, I can dash and get to him. Nope. Okay.
Nope. You are at. I think it's actually based on like. Hold on. Actually, while you're here, go ahead and give me your Constitution save because you are still burning up.
All right, not even gonna look.
You've passed everyone. You take half again, so you take 10 points of fire damage as you are getting burned up. All right, so it looks like you move half of your normal speed. So you actually, I think if you double dash, you'd be able to close in on the distance because you have. Excuse me, as I'm trying not to. Actually, just a regular dash. I don't know, double dash. I think you would need. Because if you're at half, you're at like 27-ish. When you and a normal movement, so you're over 60, which means you would need all three to close the distance. But if you're frantically swimming, you can close in on that 60
Yeah,
feet.
I think we'll do that, and we'll just for flavor slam into this man.
And also, a very frantically swimming woman slams into you.
What are you doing? Air is that way.
Her hand is visibly, and you can even feel the heat from the distance now that you're so close. Hot, burning artifact in her hands. But you watch as the two of you see the lighting on it seemingly flare brightly. No longer kind of showing a compass anymore, but simply almost like a beacon of light. From the outside, Cam, you watch as what seems to be a relatively pale pillar of light seems to shoot out from the infinite for just a moment. It's not fully opaque yet, but you imagine that is the destination of your two new contacts in the water from a distance. But it is starting to kind of brighten around the two of you, but the artifact, other than that, doesn't seem to do anything else.
Okay. That is me.
But Helda, yes, you have made it, and you are also pretty far underwater. And this is likely the farthest Helda has ever gone. It's uncomfortable. There's a lot of pressure. You didn't equalize. Your ears are popping. It's not a good time. It's you're there, but you're burning and not well adjusted to the pressure.
And somehow still cold, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Which brings us to Cam, who you now see a pillar, and you hear Lush beside you. Is that good or bad?
I was going to ask you.
Panic
Turns to whoever happens nearby, like random citizen. Do you think that's good or bad? Still glowing eyes and creepy looking and everything.
Persuasion, please. Okay. 15. Genuinely, if you got a 10 or lower, this person was gonna book it. Just not say a word. But like with your terrifying
ran up with Lush in the horrifying Lush thing. Like, do you think that's good or demonic looking creature?
This man who looks like he was probably trying to get out of this alleyway or this walkway where you are, taking to get directly to the infinite, with his kind of things gathered hastily, just looks in your direction and just, good sir, and just kind of rushes off afterwards, likely saying good just in hopes that you wouldn't be mad at the sound of bad news.
Cam is not particularly insightful, so he'll just kind of nod encouragingly. Like, he's got good perception. He doesn't have insight. He'll just kind of nod encouragingly at Lush and be like, probably good. Or is it bad because there was a big thing that appeared at the last light? But he said it would probably be good. Who was he?
That's off he goes. It's just you hear Lush kind of sarcastically in your mind. We'll ask for his name next time we see him. But for now,
sounds like a plan.
I only feel worried. We should keep
Okay. Probably good. Oh fuck. Okay. I am going to dump a haste on myself in that case.
Okay. Yeah.
To get there faster.
Absolutely. I think if you did put haste on yourself, you were on your way, so you were closer as well. You're probably close enough to reach sort of the banks of the infinite, so you're able to kind of see the water, see the pillar a little bit clearer. Yep. But you are certainly closing in on that situation. So, Akna, thank you. I think we're in pretty good shape though, but they're doing all right. I didn't even have to use a thing for my big baddie. Also, I'm going to move you guys to my water. Even though, Cam, you are not underwater yet, but I'm just going to move you guys to the water so you have a general idea of what these two are up to in the meantime. But with Cam and Lush on their way, kind of above the surface of the water, Kidoso, Helda has made it to you, and there's a burning heat in her hand and a clear unfamiliarity with water.
All right, I am not a stealing dish, but it is burning you, so I'm going to take it and hopefully cool it in the water. Okay? Okay. And I'm going to take this medallion, because it's clearly hurting this person.
Mm-hmm.
And once I've removed that, I'm going to reach out and cast Water Walk on this person and shoot them to the surface.
Just go back up!
Get out of the drowning place. This is bad for you.
That is amazing. Absolutely. I mean, he's just in the corner. I'm sorry, that's amazing.
That's the inherent pre-Triton version.
I was just like, is that bitch still left over from last time? Are we supposed to see that?
No, you're not. This is a battle map I used before, so so have you noticed one of the baddies was in like the far corner? It was like, is he supposed to be there? No, you're good. Sorry about that. Okay. Why can't I redeem player inspo? Yeah, someone's been doing the player inspo more than the DM inspo, so I haven't been doing it right. But Helda, you relinquish this, I'm assuming, as he reaches for it. Okay, cool.
I
Right
mean,
after that.
the shiny, and she likes the shiny, but I think the shiny wants to be with him. So
Okay,
I
so
don't know how deep we are,
maybe-
but 60 feet per round is what you shoot up with.
she'd be very close, but not fully out. Takes the amulet and immediately casts something on you. Helda, I don't think you're familiar enough with the spell to know what he did, but after casting such a spell, you feel yourself kind of shooting up in the water. Likely much to your relief, but you feel as though you are going to crest, not quite this round, but next, but you are on your way. At the very least, the unpleasantness of the heat in your hand is gone. And Kidoso, the heat in your hand is now here. So I do need a concentration or a constitution saving throw, please. God damn, you guys are rolling amazing for this, which is good. We don't need anybody. What'd you say?
It's a lot of 19s today.
Yeah, that's like the same one almost every time. So 10 points of fire damage as it sort of starts searing into your hand. And at this moment, as you are kind of clasping it, you do feel some, despite the pain in your hand, some semblance of just relief, almost, as if this is kind of centering you a little bit more. There's no longer as much of a flux. It's not stable yet, but this is certainly a step in the right direction. Give me an Arcana check while this is happening to you.
Did I need to make another wisdom save?
Oh, now that this is in your hand, no. And that's part of the thing that Kudoso was recognizing, that like this is here, and I didn't have to fight for my life this round. I just got burned a little bit, but otherwise I'm here. With your Arcana check, you are recognizing that if you activate this, it'll probably help some more. Whatever it's doing, it's just by default. It's just happening, even though this amulet is sort of almost static at the moment. You have to find some way to activate this, and it is probably the shelter that you need right now to be able to stabilize yourself.
Does the logo on it? Do I assume it's still the skull with wings? Does that mean anything?
You would need to roll an investigation check to see that, because that was kind of lost in the details, and it is very bright right now. So because you used your action to send you won't be able to really notice that at the moment. But that is your turn. Hilda is shooting her way up to the top. Elemental Spirit is doing the wave. Hilda, you are on your way. Hilda, I will say it's automatically sending you to the surface. However, if you use some of your movement to like help with that, you would make it to the surface this round if you wanted to.
No, that's good, yeah.
Okay, so she'll do that. Hilda, you nearly Little Mermaid your way out of the water. Red hair and everything. Managed to kind of crest out of it, get a little bit of air, and then land on top of the water, standing after the deep breath that you took to get... Yeah, exactly. Oh, actually, I was thinking the other one where she... Hold on. Anyway, but you managed to make it out on top of the water. Just from a passive perception alone, you would absolutely be able to notice that Cam and Lush have made it to the banks of the water. And perhaps as this is happening, Cam and Lush, you make direct eye contact with Hilda, who is now out of the water and amulet net-less and slightly burned in her hands. But Hilda, what would you like to do now that you have surfaced?
I'm assuming she would see Cam immediately?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, holy crap, that hurt. Oh, God. You see her shaking her hand and just breathing deeply. Would you feel the Cam would be there like, okay, so I got him there. Holy, what do you look like that?
Yeah, like Cam is like fucking lit up right now because I emit light in a 10-foot radius around me.
Mm-hmm.
Currently.
You don't know what that, do you?
How I look? Probably not. Do I look differently? Looks at Lush, giant, fey, deer-like thing next to me. Do I look different than normal?
A little bit. And Elda, you see Cam speak to this hooved creature with what you can only kind of describe as what looks like nearly demonic horns or antlers. They're clearly antler shaped, but they're just pointier and a little bit more jagged than you're expecting. And there seems to be a beard that starts almost right beneath the eyes and goes all the way down like the length of this creature's like chest. You cannot see any mouth on this creature, but the eyes are glowing bright red. But you see Cam turn to speak to this creature, and the creature looks back at Cam, but you don't hear anything.
Because apparently I look a little different. This is...
You're producing
Me?
light.
I do that sometimes, yes. You said you were... Where is the aquatic one?
He's down there. I got him the amulet. He sent me back up. How does her hand look like right now? Is it like an imprint of the amulet on her?
Give me an investigation while you're here.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Did I end up like that guy in Home Alone with the fucking doorknob?
You'll be fine. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there it is. I love that artwork. It's so cool.
I got that earlier.
You are absolutely the guy in Home Alone. It is imprinted into your skin. It's the symbol that you were noticing before, the skull and the wings, but you're able to get more detail out of it with a 32 nat 20 investigation. There seems to also be a book and a shield in this symbol. It's not familiar to you at all, but it's burned in, and also due to your, again, incredible investigation, this looks more than just a physical wound. You imagine that even after enough time to heal or magic to help the healing process, that symbol will probably remain.
Well, that's terrifying.
That looks painful. Is there another one of the giant creatures underneath? There's a light thing happening, and there's concern from the water lady. It's concerning to me, I suppose. Just a moment, and then just kind of pokes your injury with a finger and uses healing hands on you.
Wait, how does it work? Does the healing hand happen immediately, or do you poke and then it happens?
I poke to emit the healing hands. I need to touch you to do so.
No, what I'm wondering is it immediate? Because there would be a very different reaction.
The healing effect? It is.
GM?
I mean, the healing effect is immediate. Yeah, that's what you're asking.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's not an over time thing. It's just, Cam touches you and you feel better.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
So I think you need to
D4s.
roll. Yeah. I thought you had more than 3, right? It's your proficiency bonus.
Should be 5.
Bonish.
Yeah.
Oh.
Should
No,
be
give it as
5.
bonish. It sounds cute.
Oh, it's just as many as you want. Is that what it is? You can touch a creature and roll a number of d4s equal to your. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right.
Okay, well, either way, those were a couple of better rolls.
Yes. Yes, indeed. All right. So I will just say the two of you kind of like close the distance once she is walking on water, and you're able to cast your healing hands. You do feel a bit of the bite of that burning sensation in your hand start to fade. It's not a full, so it's not fully gone, but at the very least, it doesn't feel like it's actively burning anymore. Because you know how if you burn your hand or you burn any part of you, it kind of continues to burn after, the initial contact, and you're just like, this sucks. That at least seems to have faded. There's a little bit of relief there for you.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was saying, is there another giant, ugly, one-eyed thing that we were chasing in there? Because, like, the whole pillar of light is making me concerned due to the whole pillar of light attracting us to Kiroso. I think that's his name. His house, his home, basement, place where the thing arrived.
Would she have seen the thing it was finding or no?
Oh, well, Well, she's Kim is asking if you see another one down there in the water.
No.
You ran away from that one, and there has been, thankfully, none ever since.
No, I didn't see a thing after that guy back there. The pillar it happened when I gave him the amulet.
It's concerning.
It might be.
As soon as you say it's concerning, we'll cut back to Kiroso under the water as you two are healing and getting a little bit of information from each other. Important information, like, does Cam always look like this? And with you, please go ahead and roll me your Constitution saving throw as the amulet continues to burn. Oh, that's the first fail we've had. And I'm going to roll probably terribly now. Okay. Wow, I'm pretty average with this. Like, it's been pretty much the same numbers each time. All right. So 19 points of fire damage as you hold on to this. Yep. You get to keep your spell up, thankfully.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out. But yes, you are here with this amulet in your hand.
Is it going to consume my action to investigate this?
Yes.
Then I will consume my action to investigate.
All right, go ahead and investigate this.
Shouldn't have put it behind rolls, Foos. We'll never know what this amulet is.
I would give you my inspiration, but that's not gonna help. It's not gonna help.
A natural 2. Oh no. So as you're holding onto this, it's more the sort of fire feeling from this that seems to just kind of take your attention for just a moment. But you know you have to activate it, but there's no buttons, there's no switches on this thing. You can't.
Yeah, I was looking for like a clasp.
Exactly.
Was my instinct with an amulet. That doesn't seem to be.
There's no physical manipulation on this amulet that you can find.
Come on, you have to find something. Apparently, you're chosen, whatever that means. Actually, no, I know. I 100% know what that means. I live here.
Yeah, you do. You do indeed.
You are chosen, damn it. You will figure this out.
With that, give me an insight. I'm going to give this to you at disadvantage just because you already used your action to investigate. So this is kind of like if you... God damn. All right, yeah, cool.
I'm good at what I'm good at.
That's a good way of saying it. I'm good at what I'm good at. You immediately checked it for physical things, kind of in frustration, but you start to feel almost like a sort of longing for clarity from this amulet. There's something about it that kind of... You're on a timer. You also pick that up with your incredible 22 insight. You know that you have a couple seconds to figure out whatever you have to do to release it, to fix it, to whatever this might... To fix you, probably. But what you also catch with that is that there almost feels to be a sentience from this. And that it wants, more than anything, is to fix whatever is going on, but also to figure out more about it. You're not entirely sure how to activate it still, but it looks like it also wants to help.
Am I familiar with how people learn that they're promised? Like, it's always the note, right?
No, well, yeah, you would know about this. I was trying to see, I was like, how much would you... Yeah, okay. The notes only seem to be a more recent thing. And from your experience in the city, not everybody who's promised gets it.
Okay.
It seems as though only some people do, and no one is entirely sure why, as this is also extremely new. This has only started happening in the last, like, decade
I suppose
or two.
in fairness, though, people refer to it as being promised with or without the
Correct.
note, so...
Correct.
And I don't even know I got the note. That happened while I was paying attention to other things.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna just take stab at it. It's like, all right, it wants clarification. I'm gonna put it on, which feels so backwards because it's burning hot.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I'm just going to hold it up and just like kind of maybe cross some fingers behind the back and like hope. Well, no, that implies I'm lying. I'm crossing it in hope. And just
Yeah.
I am Kiroso, and Kiroso is promised. Let's see if it does anything. I'm just like holding it out, like do a thing.
Above water, the column of light gets much brighter. To the point where anyone who was still kind of blasé about all the shit that has been happening around the water that's likely the last straw and they're fucking off at this point. But, like for the two of you, that slight opaque column becomes much brighter. Kido, so you are Amulet of Xanax. Kido, so you are nearly blinded as light comes from this amulet, seemingly covering you fully. But I will leave you as that sort of light is taking over. And again, there is a profound sense of relief from that struggle that you were having not too long ago. It's a nice feeling after everything that had happened. Amulet to be blind. Yeah, this has been a blind session for most of them. But I will just cut to the two on the outside for a moment before we go back to Kyudoso. But the two of you watch as the column gets brighter, and you are safely outside of the water. But people are starting to evacuate, and you can hear the rattling of plate armor as guards are on their way.
So, I'm assuming that it's been approximately a minute since I activated the shroud.
About, yeah. At this point, it's probably like, if you're going to say or do something, it'll drop like in the middle of that.
Yeah, so like while we're observing it, it's like kind of just that like the horns gradually recede into the very fluffy hair, and the shining initially kind of seems like it's just being overtaken by the fact that the other light just got significantly brighter, but like he's just not glowing anymore. And you can see his eyes that are severely bloodshot from the psychic damage that he took earlier. He's just like, do you think a god is being born, or do you think a god is dying?
As you ask this out loud, you hear Lush in your mind. Let me check. You see him dump his face into the infinite. Not swim, but just like submerge it so that his eyes are in the water. And he just seems to be looking as best he can.
So what kind of animal is he?
This is Lush.
Little guy?
At the moment, Kolash. Yeah, yes, but no, but also yes.
Okay. Can I pet him?
Hilda, you are a...
not at the moment.
Like...
He's distracted.
Okay.
You'll startle him. He'll kick you. But you are a finder of artifacts and like hidden knowledge. So there's a low chance that you may have heard of this, but you can go ahead and roll me a history check. And the DC is relatively high.
Because Kid is rolling here. I know the answer to that, but yeah.
I mean,
You'll be fine.
Turn around.
Dang it.
No, not this point, but some point.
At some point. Yeah, you have never heard of this creature and you don't know what it is. But yeah, don't pet a hooved creature when they're not focused. They get startled quick.
Okay. All right, so I'm assuming she would also hear the guards.
Yes.
Just because of what her job is at this point, or what her fucking life is, I think the question for her would be, should we be moving along, or do we want to stick around for the fuzz?
Oh, they would be coming. They don't know if they told Kingdom about me. I am going to just kind of crouch down a little bit wherever nearby foliage or something might be, and just kind of disappear into nothingness as I hide in plain sight.
Oh, you're hiding in plain sight. Jesus. Lush's face just dumped into the water.
I don't know if they like me. I don't think they like me. Lush, Fox form, please. Lush. I know you're distracted,
right.
but you're about to have an entire battalion up your butt.
I'm also gonna move you guys to the other map so you can have an idea of where you can hide. Glowing can becomes poofed. Yeah, exactly. Cam is adept at the stealth and also with the hide in plain sight thing. Just like goes into bushes. Oh god, that is hilarious. Let me just
Helda does not have a hide in plain sight, but she is a wood elf, so she has Mask of the Wild. Is there any foliage or... I must be talking like Flaney right now. Are there any centipedes or bugs?
I know, right? Is there any foliage?
Is there any foliage I can hide in?
Yes, there are plenty of sort of like trees and bushes. You can kind of see it on the map here. That you can kind of.
Oh, very good then. We shall head to these palm-looking tree.
All right. For you, I will need. You can attempt to hide, even though you're only lightly obscured. Exactly. So go ahead and give me a stealth. And for Cam, can you post your thing? Nice.
Okay, where'd you go? There you are.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to create a camouflage for yourself. Okay. You have a little bit. Yeah, Fuck, that's very accurate. Cam, go ahead and roll me your stealth check. We're gonna add a +10 to that as you are ready to hide here. Oh, you don't. You have. Okay.
I have medium armor, by the way.
Yeah,
medium armor master, so it is actually the 20, not the 13.
Exactly. Yeah, it did this to us last time too, and I forgot to fix it. So it's a 30.
30.
Cam straight disappears.
Yeah.
I've seen worse.
I just melt into the foliage as well.
Yup. And I will say, as Lush as listened to you and pulled his head out of the water, just full like dripping, turns into his fennec form and hides within your form. So he will not have to make any kind of check. So the two of you are here.
So what did you see? You were checking on something. I'm trying to speak very quietly. What did you see? You were trying to look or hear something? Maybe you heard something instead of seeing something. I don't know if you actually see that far into the water.
I only saw the light, but not the Guardian.
So, do you think that the Guardian lady water person is dead? Missing?
I don't.
Should I send a note to Valen? They don't want to see me, but...
Why don't we see what happens? I don't sense as much concern, so maybe it's okay.
All right, well, we'll just be a little quiet for the moment.
Okay. And you feel the fennec kind of just burrow a little bit deeper into your cloak as well as your hair, fully disappeared in this bush. It's also incredible thinking that you're stealthing with this enormous pole arm. You're just like, no one sees me here. Amazing. But Helda, you are also stealthed. It's certainly good, but you do hear the guards kind of coming pretty much directly in your way, especially with the giant pillar. You are at least lucky enough that they have something to distract themselves with, and therefore are not focused upon you. But I will leave the two of you in your bushes for now. We will come back to Kunoso. It's underwater, trying to figure out this amulet. Please roll me another Constitution save as it continues to burn. Nice. All right, so 6 or half, excuse me. Damage. Hey, lower than average. There you go. 7 points fire damage. But as you are here, the light is fully starting to envelop you, and you are starting to feel that presence that was on you intensify for a moment. And the white nearly starts creeping back in, and it's not the light, but it's clearly that just whiteness that you were in before. Start pulling away fully. Almost as if it's burned away from the light that you hold in this amulet. Not unlike it burning your hand currently. But the voice that came from the figure holding the bow kind of starts almost like lilting back into your mind. It's not a strong connection, whatever connection she used to speak with you, even though you imagine the distance has nothing to do with it. Whatever the amulet's doing perhaps is interfering. But you hear, yes, promise, that's exactly what you call it, isn't it? I think you're moving in the right direction.
It's supposed to burn quite so much.
I think you might know who that is. She very much likes fire. Endure and focus.
Okay. Easy for you to say, all right? That's just the attitude. I'm not going to give lip to this voice.
Yeah.
And essentially, I'm a focus up, and just there are people who know how to like just kind of let themselves sink. I've never been good at it. I float too easily, but he's going to do that. So I'm just slowly drifting down, and I'm going to kind of just get into a meditative state and basically open up the way you would to attune to an item.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means I lose an attunement slot, because if it's actually attuning, I have no idea. But that's the mindset I'm going into this with. Like, whatever this is, I'm gonna connect to it.
Gotcha. For sort of your meditative, I will let you choose between essentially how he's going about it. If you're kind of attuning to the item in that sense, as you were describing, I think that would be more of an insight check. But if it's more about calming himself down, then that would be just kind of a flat wisdom check.
It is going to be more like I'm opening myself up to attune, yes, but it is more about focus and endure. All right, voice of the waters. I don't know what you are, but I know the waters, and if you are here, that gives you a lot of like you're coming in at a default. You're probably good. So it is going to be more just a wisdom.
Wisdom check. Excuse me, I keep having to mute myself.
I'm gonna drop concentration on the elemental spirit. I'm a triple check for wisdom to make sure that doesn't like go haywire when you stop concentrating. Otherwise, I'll keep it.
Because there are certain ones where, if you stop, then it's just like, just like rages out and attacks everything.
The creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points or when the spell ends. So if I end the spell, it just...
Okay, exactly. If you end the spell, it'll be gone. So no worries there. But you
I don't need any part of my mental self on anything but this.
Mm-hmm. You feel that that part of your spell end. And as you are here and kind of opening yourself up to this amulet, you are certainly connecting with it. It almost feels like an attunement, but you recognize that it's not kind of fighting for a place to be, as you are already capped with the items that you have currently on you. Instead, it feels like you are just almost communing with a deity of some kind. And I think just from the connection alone, you do recognize that it is some kind of deity. The two voices you just heard, the one from the one in the water and then the white connection that you had there, neither of them felt like a deity. There was weight to both of them, but it was just not the same. This is a clear connection, a clear communion of some kind. And as it connects with you, there doesn't seem to be any attempt to communicate with words or even feelings. There's no communication that way. Instead, it's almost like a searching. Like it is looking through the files of what makes Kuroso. It is looking through the abilities you have, your past, your parents, where you currently live. And it starts focusing mostly on the promised, on how abruptly it happened, how a creature seemed to arrive. It feels like it's replaying the moments that started your morning for you a second time. And in doing so, you start to feel almost like answers clicking for you as it does this. Like it's solving the puzzle for you as it's actively going through it. The amulet seems to clarify a couple things, and that is some kind of shift must have happened between realms, and there are other souls that seem to be almost tied to yours in some way, and that happened exactly as you were promised. you were always intended to be promised, and that may have happened before time, but something recognized that you were, and that was why you got that letter. And they seemed to try to manipulate that in some way. And that was how another sort of piece of your soul was able to make it over. That horrifying, huge creature you saw that was actually massacring people that looked like you was you from a different place. And whoever was manipulating it wanted that one here instead of you.
So this whole thing, if it's going through me, I'm doing my best to just I'm just opening mental doors. Like, oh, you want to know about that? Yeah, you got it. Like, whatever this is, I'm meant to live through it. So at that, it's just kind of like a sigh and kind of look up. I was like, I don't know the metaphysical nature of this, but if that is a piece of me, then fine. I own it now. It doesn't get to be else. It gets to be this because it is me and it is mine, and I am it. I don't care for it, but it's me. I don't like who I used to be, apparently, but I'm accepting that. I'm just here to all right, this is happening, so it is, and so it must be.
And it continues to work its way through mostly the events of what has just happened. The previous information that it was going through almost feels like, okay, that's interesting, but this is what we are focusing on, and it is what had just happened to you within the span of minutes. That your promise was recognized, and something else seemed to have picked up that was even the case. And it seems to be kind of floundering on what that particular detail is and how that works. But I think just because of where you are and what your mourning consisted of, something noticed, something tried to manipulate you, but the Infinite also noticed, and it tried to protect you. So while the amulet seems to be kind of floundering on what that detail is, I think Kiroso is able to notice or connect that there was an almost feeling like cosmic level fight for you at the moment, and had you not been so close to the Infinite, you probably would have lost immediately.
Well, I don't want to interrupt this thing, whatever it's doing. I might try and reach out to that voice again in a minute. I don't know if you're the Infinite, if you're tied with the Infinite, but thanks. I'll get to that. For now, I'm gonna let the amulet do its thing.
After your sort of full memory scan of this exact moment seems to come to a close, you start feeling the heat from your hand, thankfully, start to fade. And along with this, you're also starting to recognize that you didn't necessarily come to the idea of Helda first noticed that there were charges in this this amulet. Whatever effect it is having through you and kind of figuring things out about you, it's running out. There's a chance you can try again, but right now, you also recognize in opening yourself up so much that you have a chance in this fleeting moment to ask a question that you might not be able to have answered in any other way. But the time is fleeting.
Well damn. I mean, I guess my biggest question at the moment is about the identity of the white void with eyes.
Yeah.
And or exploded. But whatever I can get.
You get one question, essentially. So what would Kidoso's question form to be?
And I guess it would be just who or what was that? That's
The
one
first-
thing to me.
The first vision you get is actually something that looks more like a larva or like a maggot or something. Small and white and kind of wiggling in space. But seemingly touching a figure, growing and changing. Touching another, growing and changing. Touching and changing each time until it starts becoming a bit more humanoid, until it starts becoming a bit taller, it starts possessing different abilities. Its skin each time, even though it touched and sort of gained different abilities, was always pale, pale white. And the eyes, no matter what form it took, seemed to always be large and black with nearly no white to it at all. much like the eyes that you saw when you were in that white space. But slowly, as it kind of grows in this mental space of yours, and you get to see it in its full form, you see a tall humanoid figure with pointed ears that seem elven but are clearly not. 4 of them, 2 on each side, with large black eyes similar to the ones that you saw in your vision. And every time it touched, it was often using digits of some kind, fingers, hand, whatever form it seemed to take. And in this humanoid form, you see the hands still seem humanoid, but the fingers are about a foot or 2 long. And just sort of standing idly in there before the vision starts to leave entirely. But there is a name that lingers afterwards, and that is Mirtiswa.
A name I've heard before?
Nope.
Okay.
Absolutely not. God damn it, Effie. I'm sorry. The wiggling white little guy. That's what you saw in your vision. That's amazing. I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay.
Well, that doesn't seem very threatening.
We'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
No big
It's
deal.
fine. Nothing to worry about. Furious wiggling.
And then I take it that this scan thing ends.
Correct. That was more or less if you had any
Sure.
reaction to it, which is totally fine. But you're starting to feel that pillar starting to recede back into you.
And this thing has cooled down. All right.
Yes. Yes, you are no longer burning.
Just by myself adrift in the water for a moment.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I do not know exactly what or who you are, Mirtiswa, but you do not get to mess with the promise of the infinite. I tell you this, I will stop it. I stopped it now, and I will stop it forward, and tomorrow and tomorrow. And then just kind of angle to the general depths of the infinite.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was not the way I would have expected to be promised, not that I did, but it is good, I think. And I do not know your name or face, or how I have missed your presence in all this time. But I did desperately need it today. I'll let that the words drift. I'm like, I'm not expecting a response, but I'll give it a second just in case I get one.
Give me one last perception check.
Perception, you say?
Perception.
I thought I clicked it. I click it again. I'll click it again.
I'll click it again. Okay.
All those 29s and now a 15.
We are ending soon, so if there are any D4s people want to throw out, keep that in mind for the next few. But as you look down into the depths, you are able to make out the figure that had spoken to you before. You see her figure just kind of slowly fading back into the black depths. But you still feel the comfort of the infinite around you, the pure, clean energy, and thankfully, the lack of instability that seemed to have been your soul, as well as the burning in your hand. Since pretty much you woke up, this is the most normal you felt, despite all of the damage you have taken all morning.
And then real quick test, I'm going to hold the amulet out and then just drop it and see if I immediately start becoming unstable again. And then after it sinks like a foot, assuming I don't, either way, I'm going to catch it again. But
Yeah. You don't feel as though you are destabilized immediately, but you did feel a slight, almost tingling by the time you went to go catch it again.
I'm going to put it on for now. I'm like, I'll trust it.
Here we go. All
I'm
right.
swim my way for the shore, and then just eventually just be walking along the surface until I just break out. I'm just walking out of the surf.
That's awesome. Sorry, I forgot they were in bushes, so when I went back to the map and I saw them just in the bush, I was like, what? Oh, yes, I do remember that. That's correct. But in the meantime, the two of you topside, a gaggle of guards have collected in this space until eventually you recognize that you might be here for a very, very long time. Because they have spread out in a way that makes it so if you were to leave, you would probably run into at least a few folks in that area. But they have not seemed to have spotted you yet, and they seem to be very preoccupied with the pillar of light that is coming out of their sacred infinite. But just as it seems to recede, you start to see them all kind of drawing weapons and settling, not aggressive, but clearly in a defensive manner. But the two of you are in bushes, and if there's anything you want to do before anything happens, you have an opportunity.
Well, you didn't even introduce yourself. Should I feel guilty if I leave her behind? I'm saying to Lush.
We should make sure she's okay. The infinite
Because we
seems...
must meet up with her later, perhaps. Or I could break her out of whatever confinement they have her in. I really don't know if the others told the guards about me after the whole reveal thing.
Well, I can tell you that the infinite does not seem worried anymore. It's calm.
Which is good. My concern, however, is the guards that are all around us, because it would probably not behoove me to attempt to murder any of them as I get away if it does turn out that the preventers ratted on the fact that I was formerly working for the wrong side.
Well, maybe we find out now.
You're wanting me to be, out there, aren't you? And
The word you are looking for is honest.
honesty is such a pain. Fine. If you insist.
But it's simple.
If you insist. Simple is not always easy. But I will slip out of hiding and directly behind the nearest guard and just kind of tap them on the shoulder. So what exactly do you think is happening? No, sorry. That would be in character. So what do you think is going on? I saw some sort of big light.
We're not entirely... Sir, did you see anything? How long have you been here?
A little bit. I was hiding for my own reasons, and there was a big bird and light, and back in the streets there was a big guy that got defeated by someone that probably had the best of intentions despite leaving the body behind, and I have no idea what's going on.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. This Joe gives me the stupid big
That was a
bird.
beautiful story. She don't get advantage.
Do I get advantage?
It was a
You do
beautiful
not get
story.
advantage.
No, you sure?
It is flat. No,
The
unfortunately,
cheese
no.
does nothing. Okay.
The cheese does nothing.
Okay.
All right.
You
Do I still
the
have
guard
that
just-
D4?
You do have a D4, yes.
Throw that
I'm
out there.
gonna waste it here. We don't have that
Nice.
many. Well,
Your DC
There
in
we
my
go.
mind was 15, so you have now crested over it. Very nice. As you tell this whole story to the guard, you watch as his face kind of contorts. perhaps partially believing you, but you are for sure. You recognize that he's kind of hung up on the words of there's a creature that went down in the middle of the streets by probably someone who had the best of intentions. You see him just kind of looking you up and down with your breastplate and clearly like armor clad
Massive
body
wound across the shoulder. Yeah.
Exactly, like stab wound too, because you got stabbed by the dagger. It's just kind of looking over
Yeah.
you. Before eventually there seems to be almost like a clicking of like, okay, all right. Do you need help, or are you in need of assistance?
I am. Just a minute. I am not in accent, but Cam would be a lot better at this than I am.
It's hard to
I am in a little bit of pain, but mostly I'm just kind of concerned as to what might be happening to my not quite friend who disappeared into the depths.
all right. We can assign some medical attention for you in just a moment. But if you don't mind, and you see his hand like kind of immediately swivel to the side, as coming out from the water is Kidoso. And all the guards with their weapons drawn seem to kind of lower them a bit. Kidoso is well enough known around the area for them to know that this is clearly a native, and you, I imagined, don't have the demeanor of someone who is aggressive. So, as you are hopping out.
You're alive! That's great.
Jess, did you use this voice earlier with Kuroso? Or is this new to Kuroso?
No, I did not.
Okay, so the confusion is correct. Just checking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jess,
You're alive. That is fantastic. I am glad that you are alive. I was not afraid that the big light meant another big guy.
No, that is not seem to be the case. The light was from this amulet that was burning first, and she is gone. Okay, so it was burning at the end. I sent her to the surface because she was also drowning. But in any case, it was then burning me. But then it was a good thing in the end. I mean, it hurt. It was not good, but ultimately it fixed. But the problem is, hello. I'm just looking for whoever's in charge of the guards.
Your passive perception is high enough to notice the redhead in the bushes.
Ah.
She is gone, but she's also just in the bushes. But one of the guards, the one that you address, is just, are you all right?
Well, I will be. This was not what I intended to do with my day. Mostly I have to fix my house. The walls have been damaged, but I do not entirely understand how, but good news for me. It turns out I am promised. That is what I have learned this day. But some outside force interrupted that, which is concerning, because I do not know how it would do so. It is clearly powerful, but from what I understand, the life that I lived was brought here and made manifest, and then tried to take this life so that it could live again, and whoever I was very violent, but that has ended. So now it is just me.
That's all
And
this
I
is
am not
happening.
violent.
The particular guard is listening to you and just kind of trying to take everything in, but there's one behind him that is scribbling everything that you said.
No, I know,
as
it is
curiously
wild.
as possible.
This has been a heck of a morning.
Yes, and as always, the palace is open for those who may need physical, or you see this part attempted to be said a little bit more delicately, but perhaps the guard is still trying to digest whatever you just said, or psychological help if necessary. We also do have a soul healer on, perhaps appointment based, but if there is any questions you may have.
Well, I have many. I'm going to mispronounce this because that is what is going to happen. This is just Joe telling you this. This is not necessarily. I shouldn't break the voice. Toussoir? Is that what? That turned very French. For me.
Careful with that. No, just careful with the name.
Why do you
Something
know
of
this
attention
name?
is bad. It's a bad name. It's a bad name for a bad person.
Well, this I know.
Person.
This person, this entity with this name that I guess I should not be saying.
You
Is
should
what
be careful about open and out and everything. Well, there are probably some people completely has forgotten that had the southern accent in front of the guards.
Gone.
There's probably a couple of people that you should listen to, and that's when he realizes that the guards are around. And they would appreciate that. Any news that you might have.
Well, the news I have is that whoever or whatever it is tried to usurp my promising. Is it there? I do not know the past tense of becoming promised. Or I guess that is the past tense. I do not know what the current tense of becoming promised was. It does not matter. That is what happened. I do
Promising
not know if this name
sounds
meant...
right.
What?
Promising sounds right.
Yes. So I do not know if that name meant anything to any of you, but that is who or what did this. Yes.
As that's happening in the background, because unfortunately, Kate, you did not roll super well. There are a few guards that eventually kind of end up right next to your bush. One of which seems to recognize you, and you watch as this female guard, who seems to be a halfling, who's kind of already at the height of where you were crouching, just kind of looks over and catches your ears kind of pointing out from the bushes. Oh, ma'am, are you all right? Are you okay? You can come out now. It's safe.
Okay. Sure. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The whole time she's muttering, "It was the hair, wasn't it?"
Shit! You see her pop out. Are you in need of any help?
No, I think I'm okay. Just some light burns. I'll be fine, I think.
Okay. Well, we do have healers at the palace if you need it. We're just gonna make sure everyone's all right in the area, but we would likely suggest that you probably head home soon. But the Infinite will be open, of course, later on. But we just want to make sure everyone's okay.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Mr. Caroso, hello.
Oh no, I did tell you my name earlier. What is your name?
Helda. She would reach over, grab one of your hands, and both her hands just start shaking vigorously. How are you doing?
I have been better.
And
I-
name. Yeah.
Did he figure? She's like pointing at your, like circling her chest, like motion to the artifact. Like, did he figure it out? What did it want?
Well, they wanted. I do not have a name, but it was clearly some sort of deific entity. But it looked within and told me what I have told all of you, that the promising was interrupted. So it viewed what had happened and then put me back. I guess I was shattering is how it was described to me, but that is not happening now, thank you to this.
Oh, very good.
I dropped it for a moment to see if that would interrupt and I would break again, and I did not, but it did get tingly. So I do not know if I am required to wear this.
Keep it on, just to be sure. It wants to be with you anyway.
Was it good tingles or bad tingles?
It was
Tingles.
very brief tingles. I did not have time to discern their good or bad intentions.
All right.
Tingling
So-
pennies.
Why is your voice different?
It's not. It's not at all. This is just how I
hold
talk.
on. Actually, I should roll an intelligence check here, see if she pursues this shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh
no,
my
she
god. Woo!
Oh no, but
Nothing has happened.
But it is different.
God damn. Also, I think just for Helda in general, from what you noticed also, like as Kiroso's now wearing the amulet, it looks slightly more deteriorated than when you first saw it. Like the edges have kind of smoothed over even more. It almost feels like it had been sandblasted. You know, more of the details are starting to go each time. And when you found it, you already recognized that it looked like it was kind of breaking down. And I think just from the visual aspect of it, and then you having the information of what you found with your identify spells, you imagine that with that charge that it used, or whatever happened down there, it kind of broke down a little bit more.
Do I know offhand if there's a specific fire deity that would make sense to have been the entity behind this?
You can roll me a religion check. Which I don't think you're great at.
I'm not good, I'm not bad, I'm just up to the D20.
Yeah, not off the top of your head. If you had some time in a library, no, maybe, but at the moment...
I guess I'll never know.
I purposefully made a man who can't read.
Nah, he can read. He's got better things to do.
That being said, though, Cam, actually, no, I probably don't need to. What is your 25? Is your perception, past perception?
24.
24, excuse me. Okay, just your general perception, and you were also able to see it in a bit of detail before. But the crest had, or the amulet had burned a symbol into Helda's hand. And the two of you were able to be like, that's probably not going away, even if I physically heal. You do recognize that as a holy symbol of some kind. I don't think Cam would know exactly who. However, you would recognize that you saw that holy symbol on a particular Githyanki not too long ago.
Okay. Yeah, so, friend here,
Oh, I never told you my name, did I?
I heard you,
But you did, it is hell.
so, Carosa, friend, there's someone that I think you should meet, because that might help to give you a clue in regards to what's going on with all this. Again, with they would appreciate you providing information regarding the attempted shattering of your choosing or whatever it is that you went through. But in addition to that, that looks kind of like a really grimy version of what one of them carries.
And just for clarification, the burn mark isn't on Kiroso, it's on Hilda. But you are able to figure that out together. Okay.
This, and like just holds up Hilda's hand, since she's like assisting, like just grabs hold of the wrist. This and that. Yeah,
Can I put it down now?
It would probably be yeah, you put your hand down.
Thank you.
So I can show you the way to there, but you should probably just kind of not mention me at all when you meet them.
And why would I not mention Joe?
Because the really tall one might start crying.
At the mention of your name?
Possibly.
But why would they start crying? What did you do?
I think it's what I didn't do, or I didn't do
It's
something.
unrequited
gonna
love.
do,
I've
and
seen
then-
this before.
I have not. What's
didn't
going
do
on?
something that I was gonna do, and then it has to do with other things that I didn't do or didn't say, and it's.
You do not have to explain. Love is
I-
complicated, and you
I
give it
would
to
like an
whom you wish.
explanation. I am not following this at all.
It is fine.
It is not.
He did agree that Lush is an asshole, at least.
The little guy.
You
Is
see
it
the Fennec just look in your direction with like squinty eyes, scowling as much as it can.
Whether
in this
you
form.
whether you are a good Lush or a bad Lush, you are still an asshole.
Still just narrowed eyes.
For what it is worth, creature called Lush, you have been nothing but docile and kind from my observance, though I spent much of this morning in the Infinite.
That is appreciated, I think. I'm not sure if I should appreciate being called docile.
Well, not you.
Whether
The creature
Oh,
called Lush.
Lush.
I would not call a person docile. That would mean that you are being ushered around and like a herd of cattle. You are not cattle. So there's nothing wrong with cattle. I've known many fine
I'm
cows.
Cam.
But yes,
So Lush, he likes you.
Yay.
Lush says yay.
He can talk.
Yes.
all beasts
God.
and creatures can talk. You just
I
have to
think-
learn how to listen.
I think she'd go up to the fog. They just start putting up fingers. How many fingers?
Give me an animal.
Just waiting for an answer on the fog.
Yeah. Give me an animal handling check as you're here.
So the thing you got to learn about her, just lore-wise, is she loves animals, but she's terrible with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It is just hard staring. From a distance, it only looked like the Fennec was kind of just squinting at Cam. But the closer you are, the more you are recognizing this is absolutely a scowl. It does not have eyebrows, but it is not happy with the fingers in its face or the presence near it. If you got 10 or lower, he was going to nip at you, but he did not. So I just stares.
Is that too many? Is that too many? How about now?
I'm fairly certain he knows how to count, but he doesn't appreciate being patronized to. Most people do not, as far as I'm aware.
Let me roll an intelligence check. I don't know if she knows that word.
In any case, is there anything any of you
Honestly
needs from me?
speaking, Cam might not either.
Oh my god, these two dinguses. Sorry, Kino, so go ahead, what were we saying?
I'll just address the guards, be like, do you guys need anything? Kind of everything's fine now.
No, but we will just ensure everyone's all right. We may ask you a couple questions of you later.
Oh, well,
As
if
mentioned, the palace is open for any healing of any kind you may need.
If you are not familiar with where I live, I am Keroso Mentonath. In my house is the one with the big hole in it at the moment. So hopefully that will be repaired quickly.
If it was a part of the mess and the body that they are now investigating, though it sounds as they're having trouble. Anyway, we can assist you with that as well.
Okay,
But you're free to leave.
The body is still there.
According to the messengers, partially, not fully.
When your splashed around it, it just kind of collapsed and started doing the "I'm here, I'm not here, I'm here, I'm not here."
Well, I do not particularly wish to get close to it, but from what I understand, if that is a life that I lived because I was promised then, and I am now a part of this life because I'm still promised, but as Keroso and not whoever that was, then that should not be here. It should just be a memory within here. So perhaps if I get close, I will go near it and see what happens.
Okay. We do have plenty of guards there, so they would be able to guide you, just to ensure everything is all right.
This is appreciated. Thank you.
All right. But if the small team of you guys are deciding to head back together, or if anyone wants to head out or do whatever you'd like, you have the opportunity, of course. But we're going to paraphrase a little bit for the rest, just so that we can wrap up at a decent time. But the three of you are able to make it back to the body, and it's a bit of a chaotic display as the sort of phasing has intensified. It's seemingly, by the time you get back to it, it is seemingly melded with part of the environment. Part of its foot seems to have just kind of, again, melded with a potted plant that seemed to have been there. Its head is like halfway through the floor itself, the ground, and the rest of its arms are still kind of about 75% above the surface, and the rest seem to have sunk into it, but it's still kind of phasing and flickering in this space. And Kiroso, you notice that as you kind of close the distance, get a little bit closer to it, the amulet on your chest seems to flare a little bit. Thankfully, not to the heat that you were feeling earlier, but instead almost like an acknowledgement. It doesn't seem to be fully activating, but instead seems to just be acknowledging whatever is in front of you. And the closer you step, the more you start to watch the body sort of fade away, as opposed to falling through its environment or kind of melding with it in the weird way it was. It's instead just disappearing. It's just as if they're dragging the transparency slider on this body. But as you're getting closer to it, this amulet seems to be intent on revealing as much information as it figures out, as long as it's sort of subject related. And the subject in which you asked about and the subject in which it was researching about you when it connected with you was all in reference to your soul and sort of being stable in this realm. And you recognize that you didn't get to see it necessarily, but when Helda was kind of between the 2 points of the 2 targets and this other version of you was solidly here, had Helda perhaps gotten confused or gone for the other soul, that this amulet could have anchored that person here instead of you. And now that you are here, you are close enough, it recognizes the sort of fake duplicate and is more or less banishing it to where it actually does belong. So whatever realm this body belongs to, it is arriving as a dead body.
Oh, good, because it was murdering people.
Yes, it was very bad. It just left and then arrived dead, essentially. But you're very relieved that Helda maintained the course and stayed with you. So yeah,
just kind of we're walking and talking, like you said, I should meet someone.
Are the guards still around?
no. Well, they're kind of around in a cursory way, but they're certainly not like glued to your hip or anything. They're kind of focused on. There is a collective gasp and awe as the body disappeared, but they're not focused on you.
Yeah. They're kind of called the Preventers or something to that effect.
I assume the group's famous enough that I can fill in the leap and logic.
You absolutely know who it is.
I was gonna say the kind of the Preventers.
Yeah. So the smart one has symbols like what's on the hand. So it's yeah. So like the smart one has what's on, but the tall one really does not like me. So please try not to mention my name too often around them. Yeah. So I can kind of show you where they stay. I'm not sure if they are here right now. They were making a lot of plans to go to a lot of different places the last time I saw them. Their house could probably use some garden though, since I'm pretty sure that They would not welcome me crashing on their couch to prevent other people breaking in at this point.
They leave their home unguarded. Well, I suppose I leave my home unguarded.
Well-
Not so unusual.
Look,
There's not much of a home anymore.
make sure that there aren't any guards super close by. It's less that it's not guarded and more that when you're gone for an entire year, it's hard to leave behind effective measures of protection.
I know they have been gone for some time. I mean, loosely. I don't know.
They came back. We had this whole interaction that happened, and they met with the kings are back as well. It's a thing. But they were making all of these plans to visit a couple of different places. I'm not really going. I don't know you well enough, honestly, to tell you where exactly they were going. But I do believe that you should call.
Do I know where the preventers just generally are? So is that common enough knowledge, or
I think
I
commoners.
mean, Cam's gonna.
Yeah,
sounds like
you know
drumming.
that they've been to the palace many times. Also, like, they're kind of hard to miss. So they've been spotted at like the magic shop, the marketplace, plenty of times. The kings themselves. In terms of their home, that's a little less known.
Sure.
But you know their haunts.
Well, I am thinking this. It is probably rude to just hang about their home if they are not there. So I am thinking that if they are offering healing at the palace, I could choose that. Both of you could choose that. And perhaps there I can request through the whatever personage is there to take it an audience with the preventers. And then if they are home, they will heal.
Honestly, I don't know if my falling out with them has spread in terms of news to Palace, so I will probably tend to my own wounds. It might take a few days, but I'll tend.
I do not think that the healing at the palace is dependent on the preventers liking you. They will just do this. Plus, your voice keeps changing. I think you need at least the lozenge.
You're confused by this too?
I don't know. It's probably best if I don't go to the. Let's just say that it's not a good idea for me to risk it. I have other tasks by the infinite. I'm sure. Don't I, Lush?
I think we have one soon, but you should also rest. You look frazzled.
What do you mean you have
yes,
tasks by
that
the
is
infinite?
Let's call it penance or whatever, but it will all will come to be revealed in time. But yes, so I'm just gonna go. So you should find them. Valen probably wouldn't be too offended by the mention of my person. But again, the tall one, the Ryland, just try not to mention me. He was quite upset when I left. But yes, so try not to get killed on your way to Palace, as I do think that I need to go lay down somewhere that is not surrounded by guards. So, hi.
Well, if you have nowhere
And then just
better
kind
to
of
go,
faces in the middle of the conversation and awkwardly walks away.
if you need a place to stay, my home has a hole in it, but it is open to you. Okay, you are gone.
Thank you.
As Cam is walking away, Lush's face just turns to stare at you guys. Cam is facing the other way, but stares fully while they disappear.
My little guy.
Okay. Well, I am going to go to the palace for both this killing and to see if I can find a way to speak to the preventers. You found this somewhere, Jess?
Yes.
Okay. I do not know if the fact that it is burned into your person is going to be something other than just a scar. But if anything else, you found this and may know more about its origins, and they may have questions. So
I can show you right where I found it. Don't worry.
You are not opposed to coming then?
What?
You
No,
do not
generally.
object to coming with me to the palace and to
Of
the
course not.
preventers?
Of course not.
Excellent.
I'm healing
Thank you.
myself.
Well then, I'm this way.
The two of you head off to the palace, with the preventers in mind of who you should target, and Cam getting away from palace and guards and everything to kind of relax for a bit. This is where we will end our lovely two-shot of Soul Shatter. So good job, everybody. Nobody died. Good job.
We just came pretty close.
My big boy was so deadly, as you can see. He just got to do nothing the first session. I was like, if he
You gotta
gets
chain
out,
stun him. That's what we gotta do.
yeah, the fucking chain stun was huge. And even slowing him down as much as you did, because if he made it to the water, you would have lost your advantage, and then some more fuckery would have happened. So there was
My
a
plan is if he got into the water was to cast water walk on him and get his ass out of the water.
Get out!
Thankfully, it didn't come to that. I don't know how
The
effective
unfortunate thing is, as long as he's touching the water, he
Yeah, I was gonna say,
would
it's
have fucked
probably-
up with some shit, or fucked some shit up. But very good job playing in terms of tactics, and also I'm very excited for these characters. Evie, once again, thank you so much for kind of being the bridge between the campaign and this lovely little adventure we just did. And Cam is fantastic, and I love him so much. It was also great to see him.
Also, I want to point out, I have no reason to lie to anybody, and I feel like you're probably exaggerating. So one of the first things I do is I'm getting healed. I'm like, by the way, somebody called Cam suggested I talk to the preventers. If I could arrange that with whoever I need to.
Yeah. I also love the cinematic you coming out of water and then being like, speaking in a different voice. This is.
No, I'm not. Natural 20 for no, I'm not.
Yeah, that's true. You're not 20. God damn, that was awesome. All right. So a big thank you to our players once again. You guys are amazing. I am gonna kind of shuffle us out of here because I gotta go say goodnight to Dubs before it gets too late. So we're gonna go start our raid. We're gonna go raid someone that I have been kind of like very happily cozy watching quite a bit, and it's Story Reckless. Their artwork's amazing, their overlay's amazing. I love their storyline. I've been able to kind of like hop in and just kind of listen in, even if I didn't know what the hell was going on before. I really love their style, and I think they're such a good time. And they usually kind of end. They have necessarily like kind of shorter episodes, which makes it easy to kind of keep up and such. So I really like them. But we're gonna go raid them now because I don't think I've ever been live when they have been. So this is my one opportunity to do so. Also, hello to the shiny seal boy in the back. And we'll say goodnight here. Thank you, everyone, for dropping by.
Nice
Also,
how the
quickly say
trees
that
ended
Foozca is
up
also
known as,
amazing. It's
so
not
we
just
had
the
to get
players.
Ollie.
Oh, thank you. Well, we're gonna go say goodbye. Good night, everybody. And go say hi to Story Reckless because they're amazing as we go on our